Check, 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 check. This is another mic check for the webcast. We got a signal. I'd like to take this moment to welcome everybody to the 2021 U.S. Junior Open Jump Preliminary Competition. We are doing the final preparations to get this event underway. Looking at our starting order, we've got Wesley Blair going to kick this event off in a few minutes. He'll be followed by Gage Kaplowitz, and then following Gage, Chase Sparks. Those will be your first three international boys competitors in this preliminary competition in jump.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Test, test. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to the most exciting part of our day, or at least my day. My name is Cole Kalkbrenner. I'm joined by Todd Leach. We are here for the Junior U.S. Open Jump preliminary rounds. We're going to start with international boys, national girls, junior women, and then junior men. The big boys will. We're going to run a simulation pass right now, and we will get ready to pull our first skier here. Will be Wesley Blair of North Carolina. Does quite a bit of skiing at the Coble Ski School. All right, so Wesley is decided not today for Big Red. We're going to move on to Gage. Gage is from San Antonio, so not too far off. Has a PB of 129 feet, so we are going to blast off here. International Boys event. So South Central Region skier calls San Marcos River Ranch home. Knows this jump very well, one would imagine. Gage won the 2020 National. Sorry, he was third in overall, fourth in tricks, and fifth in jump. Elected to start with a double here. Turning just in front of the 600-foot buoy there. Nice pink skis. Nice opening jump for Gage Kaplowitz. Coached by none other than Jimmy Seamers. Tell you what, there is a handful of incredible coaches in the area. These juniors hopefully realize how lucky they are. Loving the pink tips on his D3s. Wonder how he did that. I'm going to ask him if he can do mine. Coaching from world record holder. Well, if his PB was 129 feet, it is now 131 feet. Put your hands together for Gage.
What a way to open up this event, just coming right out, busting through that PB. Jimmy on the dock, on the side rather, telling him how he can get more out of this tournament set. Always room for improvement.
Tell you what, Todd, we are fortunate with our setup here. We get to watch their turn and their cut into the base. I mean, it's just absolutely perfect from a announcer's point of view.
I made the joke earlier we could give them a high five right before they cut for the ramp, and we probably could.
Well, obviously it's perfect for Gage, too, as he boosted his first jump 131 feet, pulling out wide of this Malibu. Much better turn, a little bit earlier. Not going to be the 131 on the first jump, but just finding out where he wants to be. Dialing it all in. That's why they give us 3 jumps. Gage is also into downhill and enduro mountain biking. Looks like we might have a little technical difficulties. Work.
All right, so I'm going to hand this mic off to someone a little more versed in the jump event. Jeff Roberts is going to join Cole describing this event, giving you the insight and the inside edge on what we're seeing here on the webcast. Here you go.
Join you.
Welcome, Jeffrey. This is pretty exciting for me to get to call this event with Jeff. Helped me along the years in my jump career, and just appreciate all his coaching and hard work for the sport. You're going to see the likes of his 2 sons this afternoon, Edward and William.
Well, Cole, I don't imagine you could have seen a better jump than we saw just minutes ago from the juniors. Picture perfect. Like he brought it back 6. He was in good position.
Yeah, that's right. This looked like he didn't have that driving cut at the base. If I'm Gage out there, I'm going to say, hey, I don't care about that jump because it was not as far as the first one. But it looks like he's got his skis off, so
So, Cole, have you figured out what the hang-up is down there?
we're struggling to plot that last jump there, Jeff. We are trying to rewind the DVR, but you know, technology is great when it works, and unfortunately, when it doesn't, struggle. But the way the jump event works is obviously we get 3 jumps. We have a max speed for each division. I believe the international boys max height is 5.5 and 32 miles an hour. So this event, we're going to see the likes. Do we have any 5.5-foot jumpers in this division? All right. Call from the judges, Jeff. They're going to give Gage a second jump re-ride, which I think he's going to be happy with because it just wasn't as far as the first one.
Yeah, it's very difficult to figure out a crosswind like this, and that very first jump certainly looked really good. So maybe he can get to that same spot on this one. But I think it's very difficult for everyone to figure this this little crosswind.
Yeah, you know, because it does. It keeps your speed up out wide, which is, as a jumper, you really want. But when you get deep into the course, your brain starts to say, okay, it's time to go. And then if you turn into slack or don't keep the line loaded, stay on the end of the line, you're gonna find yourself into some trouble. So I think we're gonna see the likes of these jumpers, though, with the talents that we've got on the running order. They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna put it down the lake. Obviously, we saw a PB on the very first jump of the event, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and we're fortunate to have Jimmy Seamers here with us on the dock. Apparently, he is Gage's coach, and you know, Jimmy used to be a 70-meter-plus jumper back in the day, and fantastic trick skier. And we were fortunate to have him up to our property back in 2010 to do some coaching and tricks. And it's been very good to see him again. So, if you want a good jump coach, I think Gage has found himself one.
Yeah, it's interesting. People continue to peg Jimmy as a tricker, and they forget that he was a world record holder in this jump event, in the open men's event. 232 feet, best? 33 and 36 feet. So I think there's only 4. Well, now there'd be 5 with Critchley. 5 230-foot plus jumpers.
Oh, it's 15 now.
15 230-foot jumpers.
Yep.
So
and
5
and Kyle Lead is an honorary 70-meter jumper. He jumped 229 feet twice, and right before his injury. So
wow.
We've made him an honorary member of the 70-meter club.
Well, Kyle sure knows what he's doing out there, and it was great to hear him on the mic last weekend at King of Darkness.
Yeah, and somebody made a very interesting observation today about Kyle that I think it might have been Johnny Lutz, but he likened him to Tony Romo as the color commentator because he just has such a deep knowledge, was able to pick things out that very few people could identify and point out as good things that were done and some flaws in the style down at Hancock.
All right, so Gage coming in for his second jump. Just turning in front of that 600-foot buoy. Just having a hard time getting into the course, but a good lift.
Yeah, that was a really nice jump, Cole. He's a good 20 feet back from where he was on the first jump in terms of where he's turning into the jump.
Technically, though, I'm liking what I am seeing. Don't think it's going to challenge that 131-foot jump, but Jimmy's going to go over there and I'm sure bring him into the course just a little bit deeper. So 119-foot jump on his second attempt there. We're going to bring him in for his third and final. See what he learns from his 119-foot jump.
Yeah, I didn't notice where he turned on the 6 for that first jump. And it's very possible that he just came a little farther than his comfort zone on that. It worked out very well for him, but that may be what happened, and he doesn't want to come that far into the course. So we'll see what he does on the 6. The last time he turned about 620, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think he ran out of a bit of speed over there, and as a result, didn't get him up on the boat as far as he would have liked to be, and so had to take a different path to the jump, and wasn't as far as his first, but third and final attempt right here. I think he needs to turn the 6 personally, but about the same spot. Unfortunately, narrow over there is going to result in a narrow over here, unless he keeps that right ski up a little bit longer. A little bit deeper, but still not where he was on the first one. But nice up and over. What do you think, Jeff?
I think that's mid-20s.
No.
It was much better. He probably came down 7 or 8 feet farther than he did on the last jump. He looked comfortable there. He didn't look stressed out at all. He hit left of center, and so he was obviously a little earlier than he was on that first jump.
But nonetheless, a great set. You got to be pleased anytime you can go back to the dock with a personal best. So congratulations, Gage. And Jeff was right, 125 feet for that third attempt. So he's going to love that 131. Stick with that. Got a happy coach here, and great start to the event.
Yeah, Cole, I don't know if you remember back in the day when Jimmy was jumping, but I used to love to watch him fly.
Just absolutely still off the top of the ramp. I mean, he got into his flight position, and he was there until he came out of it for his landing. Really just very, very technically perfect. I mean, I used to watch him pass, and he would pass 30 to 50 feet further than anyone else in the field. So you know that if he's got that much speed, hydrodynamics would say he's getting more load. And it's just it was something to see. That's for sure.
Yeah, in today's day and age, the skier that kind of reminds me of Jimmy in terms of being still in the air like you were talking about is Dorian Llewellyn. Absolutely nothing happens from the time they leave the top of the ramp to the time they land. It's remarkable how good they've become. And Jimmy did it. That was 20 years ago, I think, when Jimmy was maybe 15, when Jimmy was jumping that far.
Yeah, Jeff, the other thing that they resemble each other in is body build, slender, very slim, He's not going to stick around for that nonsense, is he? Well, if anybody needs to bring over some toilet paper, I might need some for my mouth after the end of this event, but we are excited to move on right now. We will be bringing out Chase Sparks. I don't know if any of you guys saw his latest antics. He decided to go up the jump without skis the other day. It was all over ball of spray. Mom's got it on her phone, so if you see Miss Sparks, ask her to see the sparks that he put down the other day.
Okay, so he turned about 620.
Carrying much more speed in the turn, though, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, he pulled out much wider. He's He bit off a little bit more than he wanted to chew on that one, but he turned about the same place that Gage turned on his 131.
So what do you think, Jeff? Does that mean that he had more angle cross course, or the wind maybe picked up and pushed him out wider? Or what caused that?
I just think he's a stronger cutter through the wakes. I think that he comes through those wakes with a lot of power on that left ski, and he's able to get a lot more speed through the wakes and then on into his glide.
I would agree. Well, Chase Sparks is just from north of where we are at today. He's from Dallas. Don't have much of a bio on him, but I do know that he had a little bit of a encounter with Big Red last weekend, so looks like he is on Stokes jump skis, so wondering if he's getting any coaching from June and Tom Asher.
Yeah, it's too bad we don't have some bios on these guys. Be able to share a little bit of context and background for each of the kids as we go through the jump event. The jump event is, one of the things that goes along with the jump event and water skiing is a lot of downtime. And so as we wait for the skier to make his way down to the other end of the lake and then come back down, there's dead time. So it would be nice if we had some of that background to share with you, so everyone could get to know all of these skiers a little better.
Well, it's a good point, Jeff, and honestly, these kids are so talented on and off the water, as we've come to find. They're very interesting, from pilots to musicians to other top-notch athletes. That wind's picked up a little bit. Let's see if he backs it off any. It was a nice slow turn, but we are going to be late there. Well, that was on the corner there. Somebody should check his fin.
Yeah, I don't think he was, his right ski was 2 inches on the jump. And when he went off the jump, Cole, you don't see anybody with angle like that very often going off the right center of the jump. So he was a little on the late side, but it worked out fine. He kept his composure and really had a pretty decent jump.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to challenge that 131, but that's just because I think he was a little bit cornered. And let's see what's going on here. We've got something. 121 feet, and it looks like they are going to check his fin because he did not get his right ski on the jump. So that's a pretty impressive picture right there that Todd just shared with me. We'll get that up on Ball of Spray. That one might get just as many likes as the video from last week.
Yeah, so prudently the boat judge has suggested that they take a look at those skis. With that picture, it really made it clear that that right ski really did not get on the red at the bottom. And so that may have dinged his fin, in which case we'd have to put a new fin on there. So, and then they'll probably have to check the bottom right corner of the jump to see if there's any damage to that as well. But fortunately, he came out of that situation with a fairly decent 121-foot jump, but it could have been catastrophic.
So yeah, it's good to see Chase coming out relatively unscathed from that, but flirting with danger, I would say.
Yeah, it's something the parents don't like to see too often, and just thrilled that he had a pretty good jump, and he was flirting with disaster, as you point out. So he'll hopefully back it down just a little bit on this jump, or bring his skis around a little farther from the same place, and that'll take care of it.
Yeah, I would say if he does get that right ski around and he gets the angle and drives through the top left, he's got another 15 feet in him easy with that same cut. He just let off because he was a little bit eyes down on that right corner, which rightfully so. I think I would have been too. But it just shows the athleticism that he didn't, get pulled out the front or.
Well, and I think also the poise.
Yeah.
It's, with these jumpers, it's hard to know what they're thinking out there, and it's even harder to know if you've never been a jumper. But when you take a look at that jump from the angle he made the turn, I would say it's not common for him to see it from that angle, and so it can really get a lot of jumpers rattled. And he held tight and he really did a great job.
Yeah, I'd agree. He definitely did not rush the turn or anything. It was a nice slow turn. It's just if we were maybe 6 feet earlier in the course, he would have taken it right up the center and off the top left and probably would have been walking away with a big smile on his face. So skis are good. Ramp is good. We are going to pull Chase back in for his third and final attempt. So being a Texas boy, I'm sure he's familiar with this jump and this site. Let's see if we can dial him in, Jeff. I think this is going to be the jump. He's chasing 131 feet from Gage, pulling out wide on that Malibu. Does look like he backed it up about 10 feet.
He certainly did.
We stayed on the line long, though. That's better.
Yeah, that one he probably hit about 2 feet on and certainly carried his angle across the jump and had a beautiful jump there. He probably turned, 5 or 6 feet back from where he was, but it was a nice, slow, controlled turn into the jump, and it was a very nice jump.
Yeah, ran out a bit of speed out here. I don't know if you can see he got pulled narrow a little bit. In fact, he had the wherewithal to shake his head in disgust, but comes away with a big jump. Nonetheless, going to challenge. So does, in fact, get closer to Gage, but 130 feet for Chase. I would imagine he left a little bit out there, but don't all jumpers say that? There's always another 10 feet out there, Jeff.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would say this year you're going to see Chase go out over 140.
Absolutely.
So, Cole, who's our next jumper on the water, and where are they from?
So Mr. Paul Wesley Corey is going to be our next jumper on the water. Got 3 names, Jeff.
I'm wondering if that's the same boy who jumped yesterday when I was in the boat. Beautiful, beautiful jumper. Very nice boy. Wanted to talk to me after his jump set, and I know that boy's name was Wesley. I just don't know if it's the same one.
Well, it could have been Wesley Blair. We do have a awesome field of young men, and I would say I had the same experience with Paul Wesley. He said thank you and shook my hand, and I appreciated it when we drove him in practice yesterday. So nice to see these young boys growing into young men.
Yeah, it is, and I think that one of the things that's been the biggest benefit for my family in water skiing is the quality of people. I think you find a lot of families who are dedicated to their children, and to be a competitive water skier, bottom line is you need somebody to pull you. And it's these parents who are out there making the sacrifices and spending the time with the kids. And I think the result typically is really good kids because they've been with their parents so many hours of their development time.
That's right, Jeff. We've got Paul Wesley on the water now. Looks like he's pulling out for a double cut. Wow, he brought it down way further than any other competitor. Nice turn. We've got some speed into the base.
Yeah, Cole, that is the young man I was in the boat watching yesterday, and just a very pretty jumper. He's very aggressive. Technically, his skiing, I think, is really good, and I think he's going to get better and better and better as he gets more experience, gets a little older and stronger.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed there, Jeff, is the shorter skis than the other competitors, and that probably has a lot to do with why he pulled out so much later. But 118-foot opening jump for Paul here, and he's getting some coaching on shore, and excited to see what he has in store. Those skis really snapped around. He had good angle cross course. I think we're going to see him get even deeper in the course, Jeff. That was about 560, and tell you what, it's been some time since I watched. He's taking it that deep in the course, kind of reminiscent.
Well, and I think that you identified the reason just a minute ago, and that is he's on shorter skis. So he's not getting the speed in the glide or therefore the distance in the glide that these other kids are getting when they're skiing on 84, 86, 88-inch skis. So I would imagine those skis are considerably shorter, and so he has to bring it down the lake to get as wide and deep as he is.
Yeah, I'm going to guess those are 80-inch skis. Doesn't really change his spot too much. Just see if he maybe just slows down his turn a little bit. But watch this, Jeff. That right hip comes around. A little bit of slack there, but that is a strong, aggressive cut all the way through the base.
Yeah, I was so impressed with him yesterday. His form is good. It's really good. And I think when he ups the length of his skis a little bit, he's going to find that needs to back it up a little bit, but he's going to find that he's going to go quite a little bit farther.
Yeah, no doubt, he's going to be picking up quite a bit of feet. You know, what's interesting, what I just saw there from the second wake to the jump, Jeff, was pretty stiff in his arms there, pulling on the handle a little bit, and as a result, back on his heels through the base.
Well, as a jumper, Cole, you know how difficult it is to relax your arms when you're going into that jump. You come into the course a little ways, and you make that turn, and you want to give it everything you have, and typically what happens is those arms tighten up, and it's just a function of being a competitor, and it's really difficult to let your arms hang loose.
That's right, Jeff, and as all that load stores up in the line and you've got tense arms, what happens when you hit that big red is you unload the line on the ramp, and you don't get that pull up and over and utilize your sling to get up and over your skis. So let's see what he does here on his third and final attempt. About the same spot. See if he keeps that line tight. A little bit better here. Much better jump, Jeff. Much better jump.
I think that's 6-7 feet farther. And he certainly didn't come down the lake any farther, but he just looked like he was loading better. And he probably hit left of center there, too. So, you know, these jumpers, they always want to try to hit a couple feet in from the right side, but if they don't give up on the jump, sometimes they can have a nice jump when they hit the left side.
So 120 feet for Paul Wesley. I'll be happy with that set, I'm sure. Struggling to find a bio on him, but really looked solid on the jump event, and excited to watch him progress over the years. I'm sure we'll be watching him for years to come.
So Paul decided to exit the lake over on the other side where his family, coaches have been standing out or sitting out in that very hot Texas sunshine watching and coaching him. So congratulations to Paul, and we will be anxious to watch him as he kind of gets older and stronger. I'm sure he's going to be a very, very good jumper as he grows older. Going to just continue to get better.
All right, so doing a little bit of back of the napkin math here. I believe that Gage, our second off the dock, has punched his ticket to the finals, Jeff. The bubble score now is 131 feet as it sits. So Chase will be watching with bated breath to see if somebody does not eclipse his 130-foot jump. But we have 3 more skiers left, and Mr. Carter Reese is our next skier on the water.
So, Cole, they take 4 skiers into the final, and unfortunately, Paul Wesley Corey.
It's Paul Wesley Corey.
Okay.
However, we
He
can't.
didn't- So we believe, but don't know.
That's right.
That he's still inched out, but the 131-foot jump should be enough to get Chase in the finals.
Gage.
There you go, Gage.
All right, so it looks like we're going to have a 3/4 cut here. Everyone else has opted to do a double cut. Carter taking a little bit different approach here. Nice load all the way through. Not really that cross-course angle that the others have brought, but definitely a nice load all the way through the jump.
It looked like he was a little bit on his heels. Didn't really get everything out of the jump he could have. So, but that's only his first jump, getting a feel for it. I'm sure he's going to come back and put a couple together. That jump was 94 feet.
Yeah, Jeff, I think that was a product of the windy conditions here. I think Carter just wanted to see what it felt like off the top of the jump there before he really brings it deep into the course.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a bad strategy at all today with this fairly strong crosswind to 3/4. A good jumper can 3/4 95% as far as he can double.
Someone strong on their skis. I agree. I think 3/4ing is definitely a skill that is forgotten about quite often. It's a little bit deeper, but still back on his heels. Just needs to peel that left shoulder back and engage that sling to drive his right hip through the jump, and he's going to be a lot happier with the score, I can imagine.
Yeah, I think one of the most difficult things to do as a jump coach is to get the jumper to bring everything forward on their glide so that when they turn, they're on the ball of their right foot, and then everything comes forward and up off the jump. It's very difficult to teach that, I believe. What do you do, Cole, when you're coaching a young jumper who comes off back on their heels?
I usually take them back to singles and up the boat speed, and that seems to kind of calm people down. It's something about the crossing the wakes that gets people real tense, and as we said, when you get tense, you're pulling on the handle just like a beginner water skier. They're going to go back. So we really, really try to just talk about the fact that you need to relax your arms and let everything continue to move through to the top left corner. So that's my technique. I don't know that it works the best, but
well, it takes a lot of thinking out of it because you're only doing a single, so you don't have to worry about timing nearly as much. I think it's a great idea.
All right, Carter Reese, third and final attempt. Little gust from the gods. Hopefully it holds him out wide. He's earlier than he was on the others. Get up over your toes. That's the best of the three, but I don't think it's going to challenge our leaderboard at the moment.
So, Paul, that puts Wesley Corey in the finals. And we've got two more jumpers coming up.
So I actually think polls for this jump was 120. So we've got Gage at 131. We've got Chase Sparks at 130. So those two have definitely punched their ticket, which would leave Paul Wesley is on the bubble here now with two more to go. So if either Will Blair or Ty Kosek go less than 120 feet, you will see the likes of Paul Wesley Corey tomorrow.
Okay, so our next skier on the water is going to be Will Blair. We're looking for a bio on him, and I don't know that we have one. Cole says we do not have a bio on Will. So hopefully the next tournament, these kids, elite tournaments that they get to ski in, they can get bios in so people can get to know them a little bit, know about their families, know about their other sports they participate in. But as Cole said, most of these young people skiing participate in a lot of other sports, and most of them are very academically accomplished as well.
All right, Will Blair, we've got another three-quarter cut coming. International boys division here. He is from North Carolina. Little chest down, a little bit late, but he is going to be challenging that lead right out of the chute, so we will see. Let the computer do its thing.
That was a very aggressive three-quarter. He had a beautiful jump. As you said, his chest was down a little bit, and I was holding my breath a little on that one. But it was a beautiful jump, and I think it's going to put him in the lead. Oh, but that jump was 121. So that definitely puts him in the finals, right, Cole?
That is correct, yeah. That's where the bubble score lies now, 121 feet. So he's done enough, but I don't think he's going to be happy with that jump. There was a few things that he can do a bit better. I think stay over that right ski in the turn and peel that left shoulder back. He's a little bit trying to knock the jump down with that left shoulder. We want to prop the wall up here, as I always tell my kids. He'll get much more out of the jump, for sure.
One thing that's very different today is these kids get great instruction, and they're taught how to do it right from the very beginning. So hopefully they don't develop, bad habits that can hurt them in the end.
All right, so he's changed it up. He's going with a double. He was about the 580. Much wider, much deeper. That was probably a wise decision, Jeff.
Yeah, I think discretion there was the better part of valor. He came down the lake farther than anyone in this event has, by quite a bit, actually. I would say by at least 10 feet, and he took a look at that jump and said, I'm definitely late, so maybe I'll pass. And that's the safe thing we want these kids and certainly the adults to do, is if it looks like they're not going to be able to safely get on, they ought to just let go and wait for their next turn.
Especially when you already know you have secured your spot in the finals, Jeff. I mean, that's what a pro would do. They would take that look and learn from it, and know that we're going to have some better conditions tomorrow and live to jump another day.
Oh, that's exactly right, Cole. I think that there was a lot of wisdom in that decision. I think he might have done that on purpose, knowing that he was going to be in, and just try to get a different look at the jump. Try to see, how far down he really can come comfortably. And I think he found there that was a little farther than he can come comfortably.
Well, opting, Jeff, to take a three-quarter on the first jump, probably to do exactly what we're thinking, just get that score that's going to put him into the finals, gives him an opportunity to take that different look, like you said, but maybe his pull-out was just a little bit different, pulling out into the wind there, into the cross breeze. So we're going to see what he learns from that. I'm sure that he'd like to go off the dock last, and right now he is the last one in, assuming that Ty will jump his average.
I think the difficult thing for people to really understand and for the skiers out there is this crosswind. I think certainly it's kind of calming down and then it's blazing up, and it's very difficult to judge what that crosswind is going to be on any jump when you come down. It's certainly less now than it was, but it certainly impacts how wide you get. It impacts how wide you stay, and it impacts you on your turn to the jump and how quickly you get there.
Well, he's definitely a smart jumper. He backed it up about 15 feet there. I think he's going to take this jump and look to put himself into the top seed here. This is a much better position, Jeff. I like what I'm seeing. Relax his arms up and over. That's going to be the furthest of the set for sure. Nice looking jump there.
Oh, it was just beautiful. It looked so comfortable in the turn. I think he was comfortable the whole way.
$127 feet. I would have thought it was a little bit further than that, but again, he does secure his spot in the finals tomorrow.
So we're really tight here in the qualifying. We've got 3 skiers within about 3 feet of each other, who are going to be in the finals. Ty Kosek is coming out now. I've known Ty since he was about, I don't know, 4 years old, 3 years old, and we've seen him take an interest in the sport considerably more in the last 4 or 5 years, and Ty has grown into a very strong, incredibly well-built young man, and his skiing performance has likewise grown considerably. He's a beautiful jumper. His dad was a 200-foot club member and is really a very good coach. So Chris Kosek, Ty's dad, has coached both Ty and Tiana, and they've had great jump careers. So Ty is on the really on the front end of what I think will be a great jumping career. So Cole, I'm expecting Ty will 3/4, maybe all of his jumps. He 3/4'd in practice yesterday, but he can 3/4 very far.
Well, like you said, Jeff, he is on the front end of an illustrious jump career. Father, Chris Kosek, is surely watching somewhere. Had a bit of a kerfuffle in the trick event, so he's looking to redeem himself. A little gust from the jump gods got him deep in the course, but
I think Dad Chris at home was glad to see him let go of the rope there.
yeah, that was interesting. That little gust there really got him deep in the course, and I thought he was committed to the jump, and luckily he decided to let it go, because it was a strong cut, Jeff. It was going to be a big score or something else. So I think we're going to take it to the second jump. He's going to learn from that for sure. Hopefully the wind will settle down just a bit.
Yeah, and Ty is 15 years old. He's accustomed to his dad being on the shore, coaching him in situations like this. And if I were betting, his dad at home right now is kind of whispering to his son to back up a little bit before he pulls out, not go quite as deep into the course. Certainly, like you said, that wind could well have affected how deep he went into the course.
Yeah, so this is where things get a little bit interesting, because obviously that gust up to 25 mile an hour got him deep in the course. So if he makes the necessary adjustment that we're saying Dad is hoping for here, 10 or 15 feet earlier, he might not get that driving cut and be right in the ballpark of his competitors here in this 127 to 131 feet that we have in our field. So this is shaping up to be an interesting event, and see what happens here.
It really is. All these young men are skiing so well, and it's challenging their brains to try to figure out where to turn, when to turn, and the problem is, no matter how smart they are, they can't control gusts coming up, and so it's unfortunate that's the case, but it's affecting all the jumpers, I believe. Those gusts are hitting, it seems like every 5 minutes.
All right, so it does look like Ty brings it back just a little bit there. That gust kind of came up again, so much better spot here. Gonna be a late look. Very, very late look. I don't know how much that right ski got on, but man, it was a big jump.
Yes, it was, and he was probably a good 10 feet back from where he turned before, certainly 7, but he was pretty close to that right corner. I don't know if our photographer is going to bring us a similar picture we got earlier, but I do think he got his right ski on that time.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. He definitely got on, but it was inches there. So these boys are putting it out there. They're laying it all out on the line. All right, so just hearing from the judges in that Ty pulled on that boat so hard that we got a slow time, and we are going to have a mandatory re-ride, so... All right, so a 137-foot jump with a slow time. One would think that'd be optional, but I don't know. We're waiting to see get clarification from the judges. Okay, so getting clarification here. If he outjumps that 137 feet, he will have a mandatory re-ride. But what happened is the boat came into the course slow, and unfortunately for him, it probably exited a little bit faster than the times allow. So Ty's showing that he's got the goods, that's for sure. 137-foot jump.
Ty is a competitor, and he's going to come down here, and I'll bet you he isn't daunted at all by the fact that he lost that 137. I think he'll go out there every bit as far this time.
It's better. Oh, what the heck? Still late again, and farther it was. Man, that wind gusted up right as he made his turn in for the jump, and I think I was on mic there when I said, oh, what the heck, but he handled it like a true professional. It was right in that same hole.
Yeah, that was an impressive jump. He, like you said, that little bit of a gust came up right as he was completing his turn, and it pushed him back a little bit as he went into the jump. But so he got on just a little bit and had a really very nice jump. The thing he does really well, and probably it's certainly a tribute to his dad, is he drives through the jump probably as well as anybody that age.
I would agree. Yeah, I think what they're going to do is drop him at the other end. That was a 134-foot jump, so we're getting slow times into the course on the 52-meter segment time, so I got to believe that they need to up the power factor a little bit so it comes in a little hotter. But we're getting pictures here that he is dangerously close, flirting with that right corner. So I don't know if you're seeing it on the replay, but it is inches from the corner.
Okay, so they've adjusted the power factor on that boat. Hopefully we'll get him better time in that 52-meter segment. But he does have to go again, and I think he lost that jump too, Cole.
Well, I don't know the answer to that quite yet. We're going to let the judges. Well, he hasn't backed it up any. In fact, he's later. A little bit more angle there, Jeff. Not as late.
Yeah, he covered a lot of latitude on that jump. and really drove well. He was driving all the way through. The beautiful jump. I think it's going to be his farthest jump.
So 137 feet for Ty, and it looks like we've got the right times we need there.
That's it. That's it. So that was quite a set for Ty. He had jumps of 134, 137, and 137. I think he's gone a few feet farther than that, but in these conditions, that was a great performance.
Yeah, 142-foot personal best for Ty Kosek, 15 years of age. Like you said, with coaching that he's getting him at home, I got to believe he's going to be knocking on the door of that 200-foot club to join his father not too far into the near future.
So right now there's a little bit of a break between the young men and the ladies who are going to be coming out here. It's been a real pleasure to see these kids jump, and all of them having I think a great set for the win that they're fighting against. So kudos to them, and we're going to look forward to the young ladies coming out now.
So obviously this is unofficial, but looks like our first man in is Will Blair. I should say boy. First boy in is Will Blair with 127 feet, followed by Chase Sparks with a 130-foot jump, and Gage with a personal best, 131 feet, and your top seed going into the finals tomorrow, the Junior U.S. Open, Ty Kosek, 137-foot boot. All right, so we are moving our driver and judge into the other boat for our international girls division. We're going to start with Samantha Hoops, move to Nora Bailey, Michaela Todd, Kendra Nathan, Samantha Hill, Elizabeth Hall, and Miss Shea O'Brien, which I have been waiting all day to see jump. Has a personal best of 41.2, and I've heard rumors that she's gone further than that. So looking forward to watching this whole field here at the 2021 Junior U.S. Open.
Yeah, Cole, you were talking about Shea O'Brien jumping 135 feet. We have a boat coming down right now, doing
Just
a
a sim
simulation pass. And so you think about it, Shea's, what, 15 years old?
I believe so.
So I can't, I'm sure that there are girls who've gone farther than that. Brittany Greenwood might have done that back in her day. I don't know. But that is a very far jump at 32.5. So this is going to be fun to watch. I watched her jump yesterday. Just very strong jumper. And we've got a number of really good jumpers in this field. This is going to be a very fun event to watch.
Yeah, I'd agree, Jeff. And when you think about the women's event, just strictly how far women are jumping these days, I mean, there is not a ton of women jumping 140 feet in the whole world. So right here at beautiful San Marcos River Ranch, we are going to get to see Miss Shea O'Brien and Brooke Baldwin. Two of those people I know are capable of going much further than that. So this is going to be exciting, like you said, and we'll just have to wait and see what all unfolds here.
Going to be fun. Okay, so our first skier in this event will be Samantha Hoops. She's skiing 30 miles an hour, and she's making the turn in, and she has that nice, comfortable ride into the jump course to get her mind in the right position. It looks like she's possibly going to do a double. Oh, it looks like she'll go ahead and do a single. So that's a good idea to get a feel for that jump if she's never jumped here. And she'll do a single wake cut, which means she cuts from the left side of the left wake, and she drives in. Well done. Oh, and she was just a little forward as she hit the water and kind of flew out of her skis. So she won't get a counting jump there, but she certainly got a feel for the ramp, and I don't believe that little dive out of her skis hurt her in any way. So Samantha is all put back together now. She has her skis on. She's got the rope in her hands, and the boat's about to pull her back to the other end for her second attempt. So you get 3 attempts in this event, as most people here know, and she's used one of them up with that fall, and so she has 2 more opportunities.
How about the pop on that young lady? She came off the top of that jump and exploded a little bit back, and boom, to the moon. She's from Coatesville, Indiana. Don't have much of a bio on her, but she is a fellow Midwest skier, Jeff, so love to see the Midwest girls taken to the jump event.
Yeah, we're a little partial to the Midwest region, having skied there our whole lives, and it's nice to see some competitors here from that Midwest region.
All right, I heard her coach yelling from the dock, time for a 3/4, so that was just to feel the ramp out. They weren't worried about that score, so no big deal on not riding it out.
So she turned out about across from the 500 football. Looks like she's in pretty good shape. Nice progressive cut to the jump. There you
Textbook.
go. That was a beautiful jump. Beautiful jump. Nice progressive cut. She crossed over the jump a few feet, so that was good. Great pop off the ramp. And the next step for her is just to bring it down a little bit and carry a little more angle and build that speed from the second wake through the jump.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I like to call a super single. Just starting from that first wake with a little bit more speed to crossing through. But she looks like she's smiling. She's happy.
So we don't know the score yet on that jump. Samantha's coming down for jump number 3, and we'll get you the scores just as soon as we can. Nice pull out this time, a little farther down the course. Yeah, she let her left shoulder open up to the boat there and kind of absorb the jump, and it resulted in her being a little out of control in the air. It looks like she's fine. Her skis came off. She hit on top of her skis, so I think she's going to be fine. I'm sure she's disappointed that that happened. Okay, so Samantha's swimming her way over to the other side of the lake, and the boat is coming back to pick up the next skier. We'll hope to have a distance on her landed jump for you very soon. So the next skier is Nora Bailey. Is that right, Cole?
That is correct, Nora Bailey.
Okay, so Cole and I are both from the St. Louis area, as is Nora, and we've seen her grow up from being an infant to now a 16-year-old young lady. I've had the pleasure of knowing her parents, and Nora and her little brother Nick for 15, 16 years now. And they decided to move down to Ski Chased Lake down in Alabama from St. Louis about 5 or 6 years ago, and they're loving life on their own ski lake down with the late J.R. Henley and Ann Henley, and a group of great people down there at Ski Chase Lake. Nora is an accomplished slalom skier. She's run 32 off in slalom in a tournament. I think she got 2 at 35. So we have a jump on Samantha, or distance on Samantha's jump that she landed, and it was 54 feet. So Nora will be coming in, and so Nora is a 28-mile-an-hour jumper. She's unusual in that respect. She's keeping her boat speed pat until she learns how to cut through the jump, and I think that's a prudent approach. So she'll come down, I'm sure, and do a 3/4, and she's really been improving her jumping. I think her best jump is 87 feet. So let's keep our fingers crossed for Nora to have a good set.
All right, so waiting well past the 500-foot buoy. Look at that cut through the wake. Nice jump. Jeff, you've taken this approach with quite a few of the jumpers that you coach, and it's obviously worked out well.
Yeah, I think that if you keep them at a lower speed until they perfect what they're doing, it just takes a lot out of the equation of what they have to think about.
So 80 feet on that jump for Nora, and it is strange to see her coming back down the lake. I remember Nora as a little girl. She's all grown up and got muscles. What the heck is going on?
So I've been really lucky to spend time with the Bailey family over the years, and more recently they've asked me to work with Nora. I went down to their home in Mobile 2 weeks ago, and what I love about what she's doing is she's taking it nice and slow. She's very strong, she's very aggressive, and I think at times maybe more aggressive than she ought to be. So she'll come down the lake a little farther this time, and I'm expecting that she'll have a better jump. She's a very smart young lady, top of her class in high school.
Yeah, at first when I saw her cutting past the 500, I thought, my goodness, she is going to be late, but I forgot that she is at that 28-mile-an-hour speed, so nice and wide, transitions to her right ski, drops in nice and slow, and drives up and over the jump. Another great textbook jump, Jeff. I tell you, you got to be proud as a coach. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, those are nice jumps. We're working on getting her hips forward. And that was an 81-foot jump. She has more in her, but we'll see if we can do something here.
Yeah, I think that's got to be tough, to keep the speed down. And while I do feel like she will obviously progress into bumping the speed up to 32 miles an hour, she's definitely gonna pull that. She will definitely be bumping the boat speed soon, and with her driving and cutting like that, she's going to be upwards over the 100-foot mark anytime.
Yeah, she's pretty aggressive. I think you're going to see her drive through the jump a little better this time. What we'd love to do is get her to come through that jump with much more load and have much more of her weight up on that the front of her right foot, and actually come forward with her hips as she comes into the air. She did that beautifully yesterday.
So the infamous Chip just came down onto the dock with a radar gun, so we are going to check and see if this works. It'd be really neat if it did. But
okay, so here comes Nora out on her 3/4. She came down the lake a little farther that time.
I mean, just absolutely textbook, Jeff. I mean, I'm sitting here watching thinking, I don't know what you can do better there other than allow yourself to get pulled over your skis. I mean, I think that's going to happen very, very soon for her. This is exciting stuff to watch. PB of 87 feet at 28 miles an hour. 84 feet, so knocking on the door. Great set for Nora. And her first junior U.S. Open, got to be happy with that for sure.
Yeah, her dad's here on the shore coaching her, and her mom's at home, I'm sure, watching. So she had a very good, solid set, and this is her first time at an elite event like this, and she performed exceptionally well.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before she makes her way into a final here, the Junior U.S. Open. Heard we're going to California next year. May not be true that we're going to California, but if I keep saying it, maybe I'll manifest it into fruition.
So is our next skier Michaela Todd, Cole?
Our next skier is Michaela Todd.
Okay, she's a very strong overall skier. Got a chance to meet her father yesterday. Super nice guy. I think she'll be coming in at 32. We'll find out real quick here. Okay, looks like it's going to be a 3/4 here, Cole.
Carrying that left ski all the way to the base. You got to like that. Balanced on her skis, if nothing else. Generating 43 miles an hour as she hit Big Red. How cool is that? Thank you, Chip.
Yeah, so Chip's out here with the radar gun, and we're going to be able to see how fast these skiers are actually going. As you know, the boat is going a constant speed, and the skier is traveling a greater distance over the same amount of time than the boat, so the skier's going faster.
Yeah, and Jeff, that was a 91-foot leap, so she has put herself in the lead. I'm looking for a bio on Michaela to see maybe if we've got some PBs here.
Cole, I think she was testing the conditions there and got herself dialed in as to what she needs to do. I'm expecting her to go farther than that here.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think she's very capable of going well over 100 feet. It's a skill in of itself to be able to carry your left ski all the way to the base from second wake to jump. The reason why they're doing that is to keep that ski out of the water. It won't unload the line at all. Keeps everything going to the left. See if she gets a little bit wider here. She does. This is a better spot, Jeff.
Yes, it is. But yeah, that was a beautiful jump.
Yep, over her skis through the top left corner. See if she generated any more speed. 42 miles an hour. So dropped a mile an hour, but I think that she had a little bit more load, and which doesn't make much sense there.
No, it doesn't. I wonder with that radar gun, is it picking them up at their highest speed, or is it them picking them up at a given place on the lake? Chip's working his way over here. He's going to be able to answer that for us. Okay, so Chip tells us that that's the speed she was at the base of the ramp. So the fact that it was slower than the last one doesn't mean that she wasn't accelerating at a greater pace. So that it's that acceleration through the jump that is so all important.
Sorry, for some reason our radio isn't allowing us to talk to our judges. How far was that jump? Anybody down there by the Splash High scoreboard, how far was that jump? 95 feet. So she did, in fact, take it down the lake a little bit further. Let's see if we can get 5 more feet out of this young lady. Get her up over that 100-foot mark. Okay, so tell you what, if Michaela's bio is up to date, 93 feet was her PB, so we've got another PB here, and this is a victory lap. She is your current leader. International Girls Division driving up and over. A little bit of a crush. We'll see what the radar gun says. 44 miles an hour. So that's got to equate.
She had a little better angle on that jump, Cole, and she drove all the way through the jump. I'll be surprised if it isn't 5 feet farther.
I was afraid of that. That crush, 94 feet. So she's going to live with that 95, but 2 jumps over her PB, so she's going to be happy.
Well, she had a fantastic set there. It was in very smart set. She came down and got a feel for the jump, got a feel for the wind, took it nice and easy on that first jump, and just built from there. So, congratulations to her for jumping smart.
Not only smart, but further than she's ever gone. So a PB on any day is a good day to me.
Yeah, that's right. And if you can PB in these windy conditions, it says so much for your ability to adjust.
Yeah, the skiing aptitude of this field is very high. We call it ski IQ, Jeff. I'm telling you, these kids are smart. They're wise beyond their years with the coaching that they're receiving. You know, the likes of Trent and Jimmy and all that above. You know, it's just unbelievable to see these kids excel as quickly as they are.
Oh, there's no question about it. You can't say enough about good coaching. You can't say enough about learning the correct technique at a younger age, at lower speeds, and taking your time to get things right before you start upping your speed and doubling and three-quartering. It just takes time, and the good coaching makes all the difference in the world.
So your next skier on the water is Miss Kendra Nathan. She'll be coming out at 30 miles an hour. She's from Canyon Lake, California. She is your 2018 Girls 2 National Champion in slalom and jump, as well as overall. So maybe she's just making the transition up to 32 miles an hour, but 30 miles an hour here. Look at that turn.
Yeah, that was a great jump to start off her set.
Yeah, I liked what I saw there. Chip showing us 40 miles an hour on the radar gun. 80-foot jump to open up her campaign here.
Yeah, I'm expecting that she's going to come down a little bit now. She's got a feel for the jump, and I've seen her jump before. She's a strong jumper.
Well, with a PB of 96 feet, Jeff, she's going to have to bring it down the lake. I think you are spot on there. That is exactly what she was doing, was feeling out the wind, and it is up and down. It was pretty strong there as she made her turn to the jump, and as you saw, she just got there a little early without the driving cut needed to get those numbers. But it would be cool to see her jump over 100 feet today or even tomorrow.
Yes, it would. So after that 80-foot opening jump, Kendra's coming back down the lake. It would appear she's going to 3/4 again. My guess is she's going to want to get a little bit wider, which means a little farther up on the boat. Keep that rope nice and tight and make a nice slow turn into that progressive cut that she takes to the ramp. She's definitely come down farther, no question.
A little bit of slack in the rope, but still a nice driving cut. That's going to be a further jump. She throws her head back in disgust, though. Sometimes these athletes are harder on themselves than they need to be, but she generates 3 more miles an hour, 43 miles an hour as she hit the base of the jump there.
And I think that her frustration is that she was in the right spot. She found the place where she needs to be for her jump. And as she came in, she was back on her heels a little bit and didn't get everything out of that cut. So if she can correct that here, you're going to see a really far jump.
Yeah, 84 feet on that second jump. Obviously, she's looking for quite a bit more here today. And we are getting down to the nitty-gritty here, Jeff. We are going to be looking to really see who is going to make our finals. And right now, Nora Bailey on the outside looking in at 84 feet could potentially be the bubble score. Have to go to meters to see if Kendra went further than Nora, or if Nora went further than Kendra in meters. It may be a moot point, but fun to talk about nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a tough day when you get 0.1 meters less jump than the next person with the same foot distance.
This dock was good to me when I came down to meters at a national championship event here. I came out on the winning end of that, luckily. Oh, this is a much better spot, much better turn. Generating her. Oh, she doesn't like it, so we are going to have to go to meters.
Yeah, she was early on that one, and this is something some people don't understand very well, but if you're early, it is more likely if you take that jump that you're going to crash than if you're a little bit late. Because if you're a little bit late, you're still on, and you still can have perfect form. But if you're early and you have to let up on that rope to get on the jump, then you have no line in the air, and you typically will slide out to the side or go out the back. So I always tell people, if you're early and you're not going to be driving through the jump, you must make sure that you pass and wait for another chance. So she was very smart out there, didn't take that early approach and let go of the rope, and she'll live to ski another elite tournament one day soon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next skier coming in is, I believe, going to be a senior in high school. She has an older sister who's a college student, Samantha Hill, from up where my daughter's boyfriend grew up in the Northeast. And she's got a chance. She skied with him as a kid, as I believe. And she will be, she's a very aggressive skier. I think you're going to see our first 100-foot jump of the event here. And so we'll look forward to Samantha coming in and showing us. So Cole, she's going to be coming in at 32 miles an hour, technically 31.7 miles per hour, and I think you're gonna see her put one out there. I watched her practice yesterday, and she had a great set. So we'll see how she does.
Electing to do a 3/4 here, Jeff.
Very strong countercut.
Little gust from the gods there.
Progressive cut into the jump. Yeah, that was nice, Cole. She kind of had her chest down a little bit like Lauren Morgan does at times, but she was very comfortable all the way through. She probably crossed over maybe a foot or two on the jump, so it was a nice progressive cut, very safe, and we'll see what she does on her second jump. She got 82 feet there, and I'm expecting she's going to bring it down the lake a little bit and have a little bit better angle going into the jump.
So 39 miles an hour on the speed gun here for Samantha Hill. Yeah, I think she thought maybe she was going to be late, but ended up with getting to the jump quite early and didn't have that driving cut that she's looking for. But nonetheless, she's into volleyball, hockey, and lacrosse. She has a PB of 97 feet, so like you said, knocking on the door of that 100-foot mark. From the Northeast, Jeff, up Connecticut, Morris, Connecticut.
Yeah, she skis at the pond with Tom Hinman and Hutch Haynes and the infamous James Weber, who is a slalom skier who's dating my daughter.
You let a slalom skier date your daughter?
Well, I didn't have much choice.
As a good father, that's right. You didn't have much choice there. Nellie can hold her own. But right now we got Samantha Hill on the water, looking to prove upon her 82-foot jump. Little movement on the jump is a bit scary, but 43 miles an hour, generating 4 more miles an hour, so I got to believe that was a further jump.
You know, Cole, she looks really comfortable with what she's doing out there, and that's such a big part of being successful as a jumper. She probably came down the lake 6 feet that time and made a very similar turn. She had more speed, a little better angle going through the jump, and I'm going to expect her that she'll try to get a little wider, turn from a little bit wider this time, and have even better angle.
So 88 feet on jump number 2 for Samantha. So she is creeping it up there. She has secured a spot in tomorrow's jump final. Every time I think to talk about the wind, it just shuts me up with a smack in the face. So we're hoping that as the ramp goes up and the speed goes up, we are going to see that wind go down.
Okay, so here she comes in. She's going to pull out probably right at the 500 football, a little bit past it. And she's a little more aggressive this time, clearly, than the other 2 times. Well,
wow, Jeff.
That was miraculous, Cole.
46 miles an hour as she hit the jump. She definitely did not get her right ski on the jump. We have seen 2 people nearly escape death. I don't know how she got that right ski back, but 83 feet on what could have been catastrophe, but stayed with the jump and kept everything going to the left. And tell you what, if I would have left my right hip on the right corner of the jump there, if that would have happened to me. But regardless, she is skiing back to the dock, thank goodness.
Well, you were talking earlier, Cole, about how these kids are athletes, and they are coordinated and have the ability to do a lot of things other than ride water skis. I personally believe that that's what happened there. The reason she was able to pull that out is because she is an athlete, and she was able to be calm and under control and poised and bring that ski back under her for a ride-out landing. Actually, something it was just amazing to see. So, Cole, I wonder if the audience is aware. I'm sure many of the members of the audience here is aware that we have Scott Ellis here today. You and I watched Scott in the 90s. We're certainly a little bit younger than I was in the 90s, but he was clearly one of the top 2 or 3 jumpers in the world for over 20 years. He's had a tremendous career, has been great coaching my kids when they've asked him to do so, and he's our chief boat driver, and he's he can tell he's a jumper because he's down here at the dock watching the jumpers. So we appreciate Scott taking time out of his busy schedule and coming to coach for us or drive for us.
And while he was an elite athlete, oh boy, she's going to let that one go. Just the wind pushed her back. Jeff, you mentioned that he was one of the top jumpers in the world for 20 years. Still is considered to be one of the top jumpers. He's found the fountain of youth, and I wish he'd share it with me because I'm not moving the way I used to, but it is still fun to watch. He came to our site for the national championships in Mays, Kansas, and put on a clinic of how to 3/4. Jumped over 200 feet on a nice, easy 3/4.
Well, and I really undersold him in saying 20 years. It's actually been 30 years. I can remember when he came to the scene in the early 90s, booted out a 200-foot jump. I want to say it was 92 or 93. He was a contemporary of Freddy Krueger's. He was chasing Sammy Duvall at the time, and he's had just an amazing career. Right now he's ranked 3rd in the country in open jumping at his spry young age, I think, of 47, maybe 48, and got a couple of beautiful children down in Florida, and we're just thrilled to have him here.
So Liz is lucky enough to be getting some coaching from the Rocket Man, Scott Ellis. She passed on jump number 1, and rightfully so. She was a little bit deep in the course, but she's going to learn from that, take all the tips and tricks from Scott and put it to use on jump number 2.
Okay, so we're going to have a double here. This is 32 miles an hour. And she turned at about 580, bringing it down the lake.
This looks like a better spot, Jeff. She's driving in hard. Nice jump.
Yeah, that's what Scott wanted to see, I think. I think he's going to be very pleased with the adjustment that she made that he had suggested on her way back down the lake. But I know this young lady has more in her than even that one was.
Well, she's knocking on the door of her PB of 113 feet. That was a 110-foot leap with 1 to go. So she has punched her ticket to the big dance tomorrow. She will be making the jump final. She is your 2019 U.S. National Jump Champion. Not sure if she was able to make the trip last year or not, but she also might have aged into a new division with the shuffle about that we've got going on there. So she's definitely put a little pressure on Miss Shea, but I think she's got some more work to do if she wants to be top seed going into the finals.
Okay, here she comes. Very strong skier.
Dropped a little hard and probably not a bad idea, just kind of seeing where she was in the course.
Well, again, you talk about how smart these kids are. She knew she was in. I think she was early, is what I think happened there, because I think she came around better and she had better direction. So she'll be in the finals tomorrow, and Scott will get to coach her again.
Yeah, I think what you saw there was maybe the sight picture looked a little bit different. Chip, did we get a radar on that one? 45 mile an hour, so generating a lot of angle, not really the speed that she wants. I think that had to do with, like I said, she dropped extremely fast to the first wake and then just couldn't hold it through. So rightfully so, as she felt that unload, maybe her body position, chest moving, she just thought, let it go and live to jump another day, which is going to be tomorrow for us, thankfully for us. All right, but I would be lying if I didn't tell you I was really excited about this next jumper. I've been waiting all day, since 8 o'clock this morning, when I saw her bio and what she has accomplished thus far. 15 years old, Shea O'Brien from our neighbor to the north. She is Canadian. Has a personal best of 41.2 meters or 135 feet. I've heard rumor that she has gone upwards of 140 feet. So I think this is the name that you're going to be seeing for some time in the women's jump event, if she's already pushing it down the lake that far.
This is going to be very exciting to watch. Shea practiced yesterday and just looked fantastic. So we'll see how she can handle the conditions and make the adjustments she needs to make. But this is going to be fun to watch.
You know, Jeff, I think ski racing probably has a lot to do with her success. She's a downhill skier in giant slalom, so one has got to believe that being able to turn those skis and being very comfortable with speeds in excess of 70 miles an hour, that's got to have something to do with her success thus far. But here she is, Shea O'Brien, on the water, 2021 Junior U.S. Open, top seed in the International Girls Division. Very comfortable on her skis, taking a lot of angle out of the 6, about the 580. She has got some speed here. That was a very late look. I don't know. That might have been later than Ty and the other boys in the international boys division. She's going to be challenging those boys, though. 137 feet was our international boys. She can get out there and play with the boys.
Yeah, no question about it, Cole. I think that she'll probably back up on that 600 football 10 feet this time, and try to get herself into a little more reasonable place for her jump. You know, she only needs to jump 115 feet to get into the finals, or less than that, I'm sure. So I think that she's gonna get on this time, make sure she gets in the finals, and then maybe put one out there on her third jump. That'd be my guess.
This even got Carrie Lee off her feet. You know, once you're a jumper, you're always a jumper. It's in her blood. She got up to watch this young lady. Just the way that she turned her skis at the 7, Jeff, and her turn here, staying poised and understanding that she knew she was late. There was no way that she was taking that jump, but to the poise and the ability to stay calm and make a nice turn like that. This is a girl that you're going to want to watch. All right, so doesn't back it up a ton, but at least 5 feet here. See if she breaks away and kills any of that speed. Wow. Just wow.
Well, she certainly is aggressive.
She just generated 52 miles an hour. That is 13 miles an hour faster than any other competitor. I don't know my math's right there, but regardless, I'm still just shocked that she took that jump. So I think she's going to go quite a bit further if she backs it up a little bit. 120 feet on that opening jump. So she has put an exclamation mark on the fact that she is going to be your top seed for tomorrow. But let's see if she can put one together here. She's obviously not afraid of Big Red.
Yeah, and a lot of these skiers out here that are at a very high level like her won't be jumping today as far as they normally will, and they're prepared for that. But it's always difficult not to give it everything you have. So 120-foot jump she normally wouldn't be satisfied with, but I think today she might be. She's in the finals, so tomorrow the conditions are supposed to be a little bit better. So we'll see how hard she pushes this, and wants to actually go farther than she has. I'm curious to see how she plays this.
Look, I don't know Shea that well, but anybody that takes an approach like that into the jump, something tells me she's going to keep going hard, and she did back it up just a little bit, not much. See if she breaks away here. Much better spot. Oh, no.
So she landed on her back, and she's flailing. I think that the boat's getting back to her quickly. We'll see if she's okay. She just got her skis behind her a little bit. And
okay, we've got our swimmer in the water.
They got to her very quickly. She's being attended to by professionals. We have a shore swimmer swimming out.
You hate to see
And-
anything like that.
And looks like Lutz, our orthopedic surgeon, is zipping up his jacket and going out as well. So she's getting great care, and we'll just pray that that she's okay.
So hit the base at 53 miles an hour. Again, generating more speed than just about any of the other competitors. They're doing the right thing. She's looking like she wants to move, but hopefully they'll just keep her calm.
I just had a chance to watch the video, and Cole, I'd like you to look at it as well. It just really looked like her shoulders and chest came down at the top of the ramp, and so hard to recover from that.
Yeah, like you said, Jeff, just lost her left shoulder and that handle into the base, and unfortunately it pulled her right out the front. So looks like just heard over the radio that she just knocked the wind out of herself. So thank goodness everything is going to be all right. But yeah, please put your hands together. What a display of guts and while you hate to see that happen, as we're looking at the video, she stayed calm in the air and rotated to her back to protect her body. So looks like we're just gonna have a little donkey breathing, little wind knocked out of her, and she's good.
So again, we have a medical doctor bringing her to shore, a guy that we've known for so long, Cole, who has a couple of three kids who are all skiers. So he understands the commitment these kids have to the jumping. He understands what impact like that on the water does to a body, and you can be assured that she's in very good care.
Yeah, and Tom, Tom's no slouch himself. He's a physical therapist and actually helped me diagnose my ankle issue and got me the care I needed on a Sunday afternoon to get me mended back together. So you're right. She is in the right hands there, and looks like both putting weight on both legs, and that's exciting too, because you always worry about hips with that kind of a fall. But I think she's gonna be all right, and we'll get her the attention she needs, and we're going to move on.
So we know now who are in the finals, don't we, Cole?
We sure do. Let me get that list. I got a little bit sidetracked there.
Yeah, as a jumper, it's easy to get sidetracked when you see an out the front like that. And Cole's going to have our finalists here for us in just a second.
All right, so in fourth place, Miss Samantha Hill, 88 feet. We have Michaela Todd with a 95-foot boot. We have Elizabeth Hull, 110 foot, and Miss Shea O'Brien, 120 foot, to round out your field for the under 17 Junior U.S. Open field tomorrow. Okay, so I apologize. We had some technical difficulties with our radio. A 130-foot second jump for Shea O'Brien. And I thought that that looked much further than 120. So a 130-foot jump. Incredible, really, the way that she came off the top. And then I think the last one was going to had the makings to be quite a bit further than that. So we just hope that Shea's okay and she can showcase her talents tomorrow in the finals.
So if anybody is around Will Roberts, please ask him to come down to the jump that we're jumping off. Will Roberts, please come down to the dock where we're jumping. Thank you.
All right, Kelley Hill. Nice single. Oh, and we have a jump.
Yeah, that's a good solid landing that turned into a little bit of something for her to hold on to. She was certainly over her skis okay. She just kind of fell back and popped back up. I don't think she's done a lot of jumping this year, is at least what she told me yesterday. And she's gonna come back and go after it a little harder this time.
So we have moved into our junior women event.
Okay, is this Kelley coming down for a second jump? Cole looks like she's going to do a single again.
She does wait a little bit longer. Nice drive into the base, up and over. A little bit further jump there.
Yeah, and I think that she was more comfortable when she landed. She didn't fall back and bounce back up. She just stayed on top of her skis. So she's getting more comfortable as these jumps go on. She and her sister ski at the pond with Tom Hinman and his lovely bride of, I don't know, 45 years maybe, Kathy. And they have some really good skiers. Tom has a son, Dana, who was a 189-foot jumper in boys 3 back in the day. And they've got a couple of grandchildren
see how far that one?
Are skiing competitively. Brody and Blake Keller. And Blake is here today. He'll be jumping a little bit later, but Kelley Hill down there is being dropped. Not quite sure why, but she's got a really great ski community out there in the Northeast, and we've been really fortunate to get to know that crew out there with Hutch and Quinn Haynes and the gang. So we'll wish her a great jump here on this third jump, and I'm sure all of those family and friends out east are watching it right now.
Yeah, I didn't catch the first jump, Jeff, but second jump was definitely further, so maybe that's why they're dropping her to get that distance for us. Okay, so unfortunately we did not record that jump number 2, so we're bringing Samantha in for jump number 2, which, since she hasn't been doing some jumping, I'm sure she appreciates just getting her feet underneath her here. Little split there, but
well,
This
she
gets
just
pulled
kind of
over
got
the-
pulled with her right arm over toward the boat on that landing. It was a good jump, very, very solid. You could tell Cole when she jumps that she's done this a time or two. When she pulls out on this single over to the ramp, that spray is coming off that right ski all the way into the ramp, and that's a sign of an experienced jumper. Even doing only singles, when you can drive that hard, that you've got spray coming off that right ski into the bottom of the jump, you're doing it right.
All right, so looks like we will be bringing Samantha in for her, I'm sorry, Kelley, that's her sister. Kelley in for her third and final attempt.
So Cole, what do you think happened to her there on that landing? What is it that she did that caused that?
So in my opinion, I think she split on the ramp, so maybe her left ski got to the jump just that tad bit early than her right, and as a result, she didn't go as far, and so the boat caught her in her landing, and it was on her through her landing, so she couldn't get back over her left ski and stand back up. So that's kind of what I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to wish I was in the boat to see or had a bit better vantage point, but.
Well, here she comes again down the lake for her final attempt, and we're going to see how long before she pulls out here. Here she goes. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was definitely her best jump of the three, so we'll be listening intently for this score since we unfortunately didn't bring you the first jump.
So the crowd is giving her a hand. I think that she'll be very happy with that set. She got an extra jump out of it and did quite well.
63 feet on that third one. So big thanks to Todd Leach for making his way out to the site and helping with announcing today. Appreciate him.
So who's our next skier, Cole?
None other than, of course, a Grathwall. I think she forgot that it's the jump event, not the trick event, but you see this young lady jump, and you're going to say she needs to spend more time on her jump skis. So I'm going to have a strong word with Kurt here after the event, see if we can't get her jumping a little bit more.
Well, and you don't say that because she's not very good. You're saying that because she could be incredibly good.
Exactly, yeah. This girl is so balanced. Obviously, you see her trick, and you know, typically, if you can trick, you can jump, and this girl can definitely jump.
Well, I know a couple of years ago, Abby was out there jumping quite well. Taylor was jumping into the mid-20s, as I recall. So there's no question that these girls know how to do it. And as you said, I think it takes considerably more skill as an athlete to be a tricker than it does to be a jumper. And I say that to a guy who's one of the several 200-foot jumpers down here at this tournament. But I know for me it was a lot harder to ride a trick ski than it was to go ride around on jumpers.
You can say that again. Tricking is definitely a difficult event, but right now we're focused on Allie as she takes to the jump event. Looks like we're going to do a 3/4 here. Look at that. All right, so unfortunately not able to ride it away but 43 miles an hour as her cheerleading squad there on the corner gets the wave going.
Yeah, it looks like the Midwest Air Force is over on the other side of the lake cheering her on. That was an amazing jump. And this young girl, she's the youngest of the crew. And I know she's been coached by Alice most recently, and her jumping has really come on. You meet those Grathwall girls, and they're rarely without one or the other of their sisters. And it's just a beautiful thing to see that family skiing together and having fun together.
Yeah, I think, you were talking about Taylor jumping into the 20s. I think I remember Abby down at Moomba first ran into Kurt and Abby at the Moomba Festival in Australia, and I think she was jumping 130 feet. So they're definitely accomplished jumpers and capable, no doubt about that.
Well, and it's fun to watch these kids grow up. You've got Abby, who's now in our territory in Kirksville, Missouri, going to medical school up there, and it's nice to be able to see her every now and then. And again, the family they come from, so kind, so generous. They've been so great to my family every time we've come down here to basically make us feel at home. So kudos to the Grathwall parents for doing such a great job with their children.
You can say that again. Allie coming in for jump number 2. Little two-handed three-quarter here. Driving into the base, up and over. Nice looking jump there.
Yeah, she's not going to let that one go, Cole.
So 43 miles an hour as she hit Big Red. We'll await the jump distance. I'm guessing 100 feet.
You can certainly tell she's been spending time with Scott.
$95 feet for Allie. Getting some instruction from her father. And you know, that's so cool to have Abby in our territory. Like you said, I came down to the dock after work, last week, and there was a Grathwall on the dock. And, you get excited because they're just such good kids. And to have Dan Green and Abby at our lake for the summer, Abby's not at our lake, but just for having her stop by, and just fun to see her smiling face, and got to have coffee with her and catch up. But she's doing extremely well down in Kirksville, and even coaching the Missouri junior team now. So she's sharing her knowledge and her love for the sport, and so we are fortunate to have all of them around.
Yeah, you've got the two sisters, Allie's two sisters and her mom over on the far side of the lake, and her dad here on the dock coaching. So it is definitely a family affair.
All right, let's see if we can squeeze 5 more feet out of Allie here.
I think maybe so.
That looked better. 41 on the speed, so the radar gun says maybe it's not as far, but it's not a science here.
Well, Cole, I don't know if if you would make the same observation, but I'm seeing her drive into that jump like I've never seen Allie drive into a jump, and I can't help but believe that that's Scott encouraging her to to be more aggressive. That was a great jump.
Well, 99 feet on the jump. They just wanted to stop Allie in front of her cheering section there. The Ski Bama Roll Tide crew.
Well, that's a great result for Allie. There's no question in my mind that she'll go as far as she wants to go here over the coming years.
Well, 99 feet does ensure that she has a spot for tomorrow's final, so we'll get to see her talent again tomorrow.
One of the things that she does really well. Two of the things I would say. One is she drives through the jump beautifully, and she it's relatively progressive cut that she takes. But the other thing is, as she comes onto the jump and off the jump, everything's going forward and up, and so she's getting every bit she can out of the speed that she's generating.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. And the next competitor on the water from the Midwest, Alyssa Drake. She's going to be bringing some speed to the base here.
Well, Alyssa has really made a commitment to the sport of water skiing, as is evidenced by the amount of time she spends down in Florida. Her dad, Tony, has been so supportive of her skiing and has really given her the opportunity to become as good as she wants to become. And her jump event, I think, is her stronger event.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. She is a very accomplished 3-event skier into the 38 off and slalom event, tricking upwards of 56 today. So, I think this is definitely probably one of her favorite events. I know that she was shining at a young age in this event, but capable of jumping 130 feet. See what she does here today. Look at the angle out of the 6. That was beautiful. Rides the line out nice. Kills a bit of speed. Nice looking jump.
Yeah, that's a big jump. She really brought it down the lake there and had tremendous direction on that jump. She crossed several feet of the jump during her drive up from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, hitting 50 miles an hour as you hit the base of the ramp. $126-foot opener, so excellent opening jump. She can really build upon that.
And her dad is one of the guys in the sport of competitive water skiing who gives back. And he's really done a number of things. He doesn't talk about it. People don't really know about it. But he's been very supportive of the ski community, and not only his daughter. The last several years he's put on a very fun event up at his lake, and it's not easy to do, bringing the money together that it takes to do it. But the pros go up, and the kids get to ski on a team with the pros.
All right, Alyssa Drake coming in, 126 feet on her first jump. Doesn't change her spot much. See if she kills a little bit more speed here. This is a better spot here. A little bit windy. A nicer jump. Doesn't quite have the speed that she had on the first jump, but 45 miles an hour as she hit the base of the jump. I'm really excited as the big boys come out to see what speeds they're hitting. And the distance reflects that, 118 feet. So obviously didn't somehow lost a few miles an hour in her cut to the ramp, and as a result, only 118-foot jump. But still, it was very, very windy. That gust there stayed up. I'm assuming that had a lot to do with what we just saw.
You're right, Cole, and the other component there was that she turned probably 5 feet sooner than she turned on the other jump, so she didn't have the angle that she had before. But again, the conditions are challenging. So here she comes down. She's pulling out to the 6. So she's turning about 590, 585. Out wide.
Boy, she's carrying some speed out wide here. That's a better jump.
Yeah, he brought it into the course, about to where she was the first jump.
49 miles an hour on the speed, so right there with that first jump. I'm going to say it's in the same hole. A little bit more lift there, though, Jeff. I think that's going to be just a tad bit farther. 127 feet is my guess. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think that's the farthest jump.
Well, we're both wrong. 122 feet, so she's going to stick with that opener. 126 foot for Alyssa.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so the next two skiers are very accomplished jumpers. Sage Potbecker and Brooke Baldwin will be coming up. I was in the boat yesterday when Sage jumped, and she's really, really strong on her skis, very good water skier, which usually will translate into a very good jumper. So she'll be coming in first, and then after that, world-renowned Brooke Baldwin.
Well, you are right. She does list Hutch and Quinn and Tom Hinman as a mentor to her. Dan Warner as well. So all those names are synonymous in the jump event and in the Northeast. She's coming out for a 3/4 cut.
Look at that cut, Cole.
Wow. All right, just a little bit deeper than she wanted to be. I really liked how she stayed on the end of the line, really pointed her left knee away from the jump, and then de-weighted that and let the right ski come through. We're in for a treat, Jeff. She has a PB of 126 feet. And I tell you what, after watching her there, I would have thought it was much further than that. So this is exciting to see.
That was a 140-foot cut.
All day long. So she's a senior in high school. Be interesting to know where she's going to be attending university next year. I'm assuming that with her very qualified in all three events, she'd be a hot commodity in the recruitment world of collegiate water skiing.
Okay, Cole, here she comes. I think she'll probably back it up about 5 feet, I would expect.
Doesn't back off on her cut at all, does she?
No.
Oh, a little windy here, but a better spot up and over.
A nice jump. I'd say that's right, going to be right in the territory of her PB.
I think she's a bit shy yet. That gust from the gods there, I think, just stood her up a little bit. I'm going to say 116 feet.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, he got me on that one.
118 feet for Sage's second attempt. Lots more in the tank there.
So, Cole, you've jumped 200 feet a couple of times, right? Yeah, and you've been in various conditions. Skiing in Wichita, you have to ski and wind quite a bit. We're going to have the big boys coming out a little bit later. What words of advice do you have for these skiers when you have a head crosswind?
You know, we typically have a southeast wind at in Mays where I ski, and we do have a lot of crosswinds, but it keeps the line tight. But here, let's watch this third and final attempt from Sage. I really like the way she rides her skis. Look at that transition onto her right ski, driving in, up and over. That's a better jump. $121-foot jump. What do you think, Jeff?
I'm going to go with whatever you say. So we're waiting for the distance to come back. I tell you, I just can't say enough about how well this young lady skis.
So she's consistent, 118 feet again for her third and final attempt. What kind of speed was she making there, Chip? 48 miles an hour as she hit the base of the jump. So, you know, lots left there in the tank. Hopefully maybe a little less windy tomorrow, and we'll see some big scores out of Sage. But you're right, Jeff. Very impressive the way she rides her skis, and you're going to be hearing that name for a long time to come.
Well, let me coax a few more words out of you, Cole, on technically what is it that we try to do when we have a cross like this?
So a cross away from the jump, obviously they're going to have a headwind off the top of the ramp, but to me it's managing their speed out wide. You know, you've seen a lot of people run on and get deeper in the course and rush their turn, and if they overstretch the line there out wide, it's going to be tough to continue to build that load all the way through the top left of the jump. But you know, honestly, to me, it's managing the speed, so it's going to be going a little bit earlier off the 6 and riding the line out and trying to keep your speed up without overshooting your turn. So that's where I'd start, and then from there you're going to have to make the necessary adjustments. But these kids are so smart. The likes of Brooke Baldwin, like we said, world champion. We've got Will Roberts coming off the dock, Brett Stackpole, Johnny Lutz. I mean, it's quite the field. I think we are in store for a show here.
Yeah, and as you can see, they're out at the jump raising it. So Brooke's going to jump 5.5 foot. The jump up to this point has been 5-foot jump. The foreigners call it a 1.5, and this is going to be 5.5. So they call that a 1.65 or a 165. So it basically is what's the angle of the jump, and there's a range within the within tolerance for that angle to be for different jump settings. But you know, for these girls that are going out right now, they could have jumped 5.5 if they were qualified. You can see as that jump is raised, more of the skirts are being revealed. So they'll get it up to the right setting. We have technical coordinator who it's his job to make sure that that setting is within tolerance and is as close to as perfect as possible. So the young lady that's about to come up, Cole, you know, we've had the great pleasure of hanging out with her at our lake for 6 or 7 weeks last summer. She's coming home with us from this event and will be at our lake with us for the remainder of the summer. You know, it's just hard to believe that Brooke Baldwin has been around as long as she's been around, but yet she's so young. She's had so many championships, you know, at the local, regional, national, and international level. I don't think that there's been a junior skier that's really been as accomplished as Brooke is at her young age.
In the overall event, I would definitely agree with you. I mean, this young lady is not only the top of her game, but the top of her game in all three events. And so I hope you guys get a chance to enjoy Brooke's coaching and just presence. She's a really fun person to be around, and you're about to see her talents here. She's a 160-plus foot jumper. Don't have a bio on her, but we do, like we said, we've been lucky enough. She's spent a lot of time in the Midwest region, goes to school at the University of Alabama with your son. So, it's just it's really fun to watch her grow up, and excited to see what the future holds. She's already taken the pro scene by storm, and you'll see why here in just a second.
And her dad, Mike, is I think he's at home this weekend. Her sister, Kristen, mom, Brenda. It's quite a ski family. Brenda was a pro skier, quite accomplished, I think best jumper in the world several times over. Kristen has won nationals in the jump competition a number of times. So again, it's a family deep in water skiing. I know Mike was a coach of a college water ski team. I think it might have been Rollins back in the day, Cole. So they know what they're doing. Brooke hasn't jumped much, I don't think, recently. But she has as much ability with jumping as really anybody I've seen. She could go far if she wanted to, to focus on jumping. But she's so good at everything that, she has to give time to everything.
You know what? I think the last World Championship she was on the podium as an overall skier, so third, I believe. I think she told me that. That's all I could get out of her. She's very humble and doesn't like to talk much about the titles or championships that she's won, but it's exciting to see. I could be far off. I'm not sure. Maybe it was another World Championship, but nonetheless, it is a name that you will see atop the podium for many years to come, and we're fortunate to have her spend a lot of time in the Midwest region.
So I'm betting on a 3/4 here. I would have thought that she would single her first one, but looks like she's going to 3/4. And there it is.
For not jumping much, that is a pretty darn good opener, Jeff.
Oh, it's just a thing of beauty. She's just so strong. She rides her skis so very well. I wouldn't call that a progressive cut to the jump, but it certainly wasn't terribly aggressive, and she still, that was 135 feet, easy.
Well, you've dialed in your splash eye or your Jeff eye. 136 feet for her opening jump. And that is just a warm-up jump, if you will. There is a lot more left in the tank for Miss Brooke Baldwin. All right, she was carrying about 49 miles an hour into the base there. Obviously a 3/4, taking it easy, just feeling out the jump again. See if we get a little wider here, a little deeper in the course, a little more angle, load, speed. It all equates to bigger jumps, and this is deeper in the course. There it is. That was 53 miles an hour as she hit the base. That was a big jump. You saw the difference. At least 10 feet further. 150 feet for Miss Baldwin.
She could just let go of that rope right now and go on in and take that 150 and the top seed into tomorrow's finals.
I don't think that's in her nature, Jeff.
We're going to see. That was an amazing jump. Just picture perfect.
I mean, a dominating performance in all three events from this young lady. 2 at 39. A trick score well over 7,000 points. And a 150-foot jump. I mean, these are scores that are going to put you amongst the elite three-event skiers in the world.
She lives up to her reputation. There's no doubt about that. I am very surprised she's coming back. But you're right. She's a competitor.
Little deeper yet again. Up and over. Wow, another similar jump there. I mean, what a set for somebody that hasn't been jumping much to come out and jump 136 feet and then put two close to that 150-foot mark, Jeff. That is absolutely a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to find anything wrong with what she's doing.
$149-foot jump for her third and final attempt, so she's going to take it back to the dock with that 150. Absolutely a beautiful day of skiing for Miss Brooke Baldwin. Team Alabama should be proud.
Well, I'm just so happy to see her do that. I think that you talk to her about jumping, and she says she doesn't really enjoy it that much. But she sure is competent at it. And imagine if she did enjoy it a whole lot, what would be happening out there. It's just amazing to me.
Well, yeah, boys, I hope you can hear me because you've got some shoes to fill here. No pressure, but 150 foot is the mark from the junior women event. We are going to be moving into the junior men's here with Zachary Butterfield. He is a very capable three-event skier and jumper for that matter. But we've got Blake Keller, Edward Roberts, Blaze Grubs, Garrett Stallings, Brett Stackpole, Jonathan Lutz, and Mr. Will Roberts. That is a action-packed crew. I would say 90% of that field has the ability to go over 200 feet, maybe 80%, but still very, very exciting to watch what's going to happen next. And what we just saw at a Brook, very nice and easy 150-foot, means that there is big scores to be had out there.
So these boys are going to be coming in at different speeds, Cole. You've got a couple of boys that are still in boys 5 division in USA water skiing, and so they're reluctant to go up to that higher speed that's allowed in this international competition. So this event allows the boys to go 35.4 miles an hour. It allows them, if they're qualified, to jump on a 6-foot ramp. I think all but one will be jumping on the 5.5-foot ramp, but I know that a couple of these skiers will be coming in at 31.7 miles an hour boat speed. A couple of them will come in at 33.6, and the remainder of them will come in at 35.4. So we'll let you know what speed they're at as they're coming in, but the boat speed certainly impacts their performance.
Zachary Butterfield coming in 35 miles an hour, 5.5-foot ramp, so that is a good point. Miss Baldwin was at 33. Probably a right thing to do. A little bit early there for Zach. Didn't quite get the width on the boat that he was looking for, and think would have unloaded at the base, and that's not what he's looking for. So smart jumping from Zach.
If I'm not mistaken, Cole, Zach hails from just up there north of Dallas a little way, so he's skiing in his home state today. Again, ski family, mom and dad, both water skiers.
Yes, he's a Texas boy, that's for sure.
Oh.
He's on the Texas A&M ski team. Well, that wind just picked up for our boys here, our men, I should say.
Yeah, we don't have a wind gauge here, but I bet it just amped up by 3 or 4 miles an hour.
Local time is 5:48. We've had an excellent first day of skiing here at the 2021 Junior U.S. Open. Jeff, I appreciate you joining me in the booth. We are on our last hurrah here, our final event, junior men. And we've got Zach Butterfield on the water right now, coming in 35 miles an hour, pulling out wide on that ski nautique. Rocket Man Scott Ellis in the boat. This is a better spot here. Little gust from the gods here, up and over. Nice, nice jump.
Yeah, he looked really good there. I think that's going to be one of Zach's better jumps. I think that he had his timing was perfect.
Yeah, and it was gusting pretty strong there. 54 miles an hour at the base of the ramp. So add 19 miles an hour to the boat speed in that whip, and he did go 160 feet on his second attempt there. So we don't have to give him any trouble about Brooke putting it on him.
Yeah, and I think that is a PB for him, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he's been further than that before, but that is definitely up there as 160 feet for Zach Butterfield.
Okay, so the towboat's bringing him back down for his third attempt. Cutting out to the 6. See if he changes anything. I backed it up a little bit.
Oh, he brought it down the lake. Yeah, I thought he was going to let that one go. He'd be happy with that 160. Take it to the shore. Let the other boys fight it out. See where the chips fall. All right, Jeff. Next skier on the water, near and dear to your heart. An exquisite young man. I call him one of my dear friends. Been lucky enough to watch him grow up. Oh, I'm jumping the gun here. Also another fine young man, Blake Keller, will be your next skier on the water. Had the opportunity to watch him compete in Spain, where he podiumed. He was third place there. Excellent event for him. 56-meter jumper in that event. Maybe 55, or I can't remember. I think 56 won it, but nonetheless, 180 foot at 52, 5.5, or 31, 5.5. I'm getting my languages crossed up here from kilometers to miles an hour.
Well, Blake comes from a jumping mecca out at the pond. And he's, his grandfather is Tom Hinman. His uncle is Dana Hinman. He has Hutch Haynes there on the lake and Quinn. So he's around guys that know what they're doing. They know how to teach. And I would say that Blake is a great jumper, but he performs extremely well in big events.
Yes,
That's
he
when
definitely
he really
does.
shines.
It's a good spot here, Jeff. That was some speed.
Yeah, I saw his right ski fluttering a little bit as he came off the left wake, and I'm glad to see that he passed. But he was in a pretty good spot where he turned, I thought.
So talking about watching him perform on the big stage at the World Championships Under-17s, those boys were going 32 miles an hour, 5.5-foot ramp, and they were jumping into the mid 180-foot range. So don't know exactly what it was, but pretty incredible to think that they now have 3 more mile an hour. Let's see what Blake can do with that extra speed, because if he connects and puts it all together, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, there's no doubt that he has the ability to jump very far. I think that, he's been at our house. We've enjoyed him and his family visiting for the Can-Ams a couple years ago. And he went to Alabama and went to school with Brett Stackpole, our neighbor, and just a guy that we've had the opportunity to see and ski with at the more elite tournaments, and I have every confidence he's going to blast one out there.
Well, rest assured, Tom and Dana and alike family are watching from afar. Yeah. Wow.
Well, he did a good job of bringing those skis around in the air. It looks like he's okay. His skis did not come off, but he definitely lowered his chest on that jump, lost his left ski, got behind him, and I pray to God that he's okay. He seems to be okay.
I think more than anything, that would scare the crud out of you. So we've got a swimmer in the water, it looks like. They're just making sure that he's okay. We did a fair job to really bring that back. 57 miles an hour at the base of the ramp. So he is bringing the heat in. He had all the makings of a big jump, just lost the handle there on the surface, as you can see, and kind of went pear-shaped after that. But so it sounds like he bit his tongue, which I'm sure people watching from afar are happy to hear that's all that the problem is.
Yeah, his dad's standing here on the sideline watching very closely, and Grandma and Grandpa are at home, and Brother Brody as well. But he seems to be in good spirits, says he's okay, and he's going to go give it a go.
Yeah, I did notice that we were missing Brody from the lineup this weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a very interesting story that Blake told me. He told me that Brody had signed up for the Junior U.S. Open as a competitor, and then the last day came for signing up, and Brody came to Blake and said, "You should sign up. We could go together." And Blake signed up and knocked his brother out of the tournament.
Oh, my gosh. You got to be kidding me. Big brother. That's kind of what I would have done to my little brother, actually.
I would say, where's the love, right?
No. I think he did exactly the right thing. Brody, if you're watching at home, I'll be sure to rib him this afternoon. He's going to get a good kidney shot from me. All right, Blake Keller, third and final attempt. He's not backing off. Look at this, same spot, really good spot, taking some heat into the base, and he doesn't like it. Unfortunately, not going to have a scoring jump today. He just might have dove into the shore. I hope he's all right from that.
Well, he certainly put on a show for us. And, you know, it just, again, it's, you got to ski smart. And if it isn't right as you're coming up to that jump, live to ski another day.
Well, even more ammo for Brody at home to tell him, what the heck, you knock me out and don't even score a jump. But that is exactly what you're supposed to do. If it's not right, like you said, Jeff, let it go and live to ski another day. So, Jeff, hard to believe that Blake here was bringing 57, 59 miles an hour into the base, and those pros are bringing 65 to 70. But this next skier on the water is none other than your son, Mr. Edward Roberts, coming in 32 miles an hour, competing with the big boys here. Has a PB of 175 feet. Look at that. Up and over. Great opening jump. That is a big jump at 32 miles an hour. So Edward clocking 52 miles an hour into the base, just a bit shy of Blake there.
Yeah, Cole, I don't know what the IWWF rules are on parents talking about children of theirs. So I'm going to just kind of let you take the lead here.
Yeah, you abstain here. 152 feet for Edward's opening jump. And like I was saying before, this young man, and I'm not just saying this because his dad's here, he is top notch. I tell you what, he just absolutely does the right thing all the time, on and off the water. It's fun to watch him excel lately in the jump event, and not only in the water ski event, but his football, his basketball, tennis. You know, just an all-around athlete and great kid to be around. So it's been fun to watch him mature into a fine young man. But 152 feet on his first jump, pulling out wide of that ski nautique. Got to be a cool feeling for these young men to be jumping with Rocket Man Scott Ellis at the helm. He's eyeing down Big Red. Great turn. Look at the way the right ski gets all the way around, up and over. That's bigger. Nice jump from Edward. 54 miles an hour, so 2 miles an hour faster into the base. That's got to equate to more load, more lift, and hopefully more distance here. $164 feet for Edward. He gives us a thumbs up. I'm sure he'll get a little coaching from his big brother and best friend down there on the dock in Will and Brett Stackpole. So I got to tell a story. Jeff, sitting next to me, he built a 2-scale mini jump for these young men. And if you go out onto YouTube, you can see 5- and 6-year-olds taking rips at the mini jump. We knew from a very young age as they played Sammy Duvall's retirement video on repeat at the ski house. And that's actually a great point. Scott Ellis's flight school as well on repeat. So to be jumping with Scott at the wheel has got to be a really cool feeling for Edward, and he's one of the guys that would relish in that and take it all in and put on a show for us here. It's a better spot. Oh, that's a big jump. 53 miles an hour at the base of the jump for Edward Roberts. What a beautiful set. In these conditions, against this field, coming out, one of the youngest competitors in the field and staying poised and taking all 3 jumps to the ramp. Nice opening jump, followed up with a 12 feet further jump. And he ends with a 164-foot jump. Great skiing, very consistent skiing. I mean, I thought it was a little bit further, but Edward will have a smile on his face. He got an opportunity to compete at Robin Lake at the Masters this year, so he's just smiling from ear to ear as he continues his jump career. So we're just proud of him and happy for him.
Well, Cole, the thing I liked about that set for Edward was that he got in a good spot every time. He didn't push it and try to go too far in these tough conditions. He's jumped more than 10 foot farther than that. So it's a great set, very solid. Nothing spectacular, but a good showing in this win.
I'd argue that was very spectacular. And yeah, I agree with you. Again, showing his ski IQ, as I always say, these boys are wise beyond their years, and another young man that follows his footsteps here, Blaze Grubs, another one of those young competitors. I'm not sure if Blaze has bumped the speed or not. We'll listen closely. So he has gone up in speed, 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think Blaze has jumped 188 feet at 33.6. Edward just came off at 31.7. Blaze is going to 3/4 here. He's the premier water ski jumper in the country for boys 5, and he's ranked number 2 in the world in IWWF jumping.
Look at that
that's
extension.
How it's done.
That extension off the top, like you said with someone else that was jumping earlier, Brooke, he just accelerates and moves through the jump. Chest moves up and through. Very, very fun to watch.
Yeah, technically he's as good as they come. You know, his mom and dad are, again, very supportive of Blaze and have done what they can to give him the opportunity to be an amazing 3-event skier. And so his parents have really done a great job with him, and I've just been very fortunate to get to know his mom and dad just a little bit over the last couple of years, and I'm looking forward to spending time with them at elite events in the future.
7.
So 157 for Blaze.
Opens his campaign, like Jeff said, with a 157-foot jump. We'll see what Blaze does here. You know, he's made the finals in the slalom and trick event, and he's vying for the overall competition here. This may be, with the looks of the field here, this could potentially be his only round, so he's going to have to capitalize take advantage of everything he's getting from that ski nautique. Much better spot here. Ooh, he lets it go. Maybe a little early, Jeff. What do you see?
Yeah, he was early. He actually, it was very interesting. He brought it down the lake about 7 or 8 feet on the 6, and I was expecting him to come on down the lake, and maybe it was the wind, maybe it caught him a little bit. Hard to tell, but this young man knows how to compete. He very seldom gets beat in the jump event. Today he's along with Edward, the youngest in this event, and so they're skiing against bigger boys and boys with more experience at these faster speeds. But I wouldn't be surprised if Blaze went out right here and jumped 180 feet.
Well, yeah, I think he doubled on that one. We'll see here. I'm not sure. The first one was a 3/4, so
Good point,
just trying to figure out where he is in the course. And, again, this crosswind is very challenging, but like you said, he is smart and wise beyond his years, so I'm assuming he's going to put one out there, find his spot, and like you said, Blaze, he's a competitor. He can give these boys a run for their money, even if they are going 35, 5.5, or 6 foot.
Well, the thing about Blaze, when you watch him, week in and week out, like I've had the pleasure of doing, is he is so just technically sound. He never makes mistakes. I've never seen him make a mistake jumping. Sometimes his timing isn't exactly right, but he comes off the jump almost the same way every time, Cole.
Definitely has this jump figured out at a young age, and we are going to see it here. This is a better spot. A little bit back off the top, but it's going to be further than that 157. I don't know if it's going to be that 180 foot you predicted, Jeff, but
yeah, I think he got back a little bit on his heels on the turn. Not bad, but a little bit. And I think when he hit that jump, he just came a little farther back.
$159 feet for Blaze, so not the best jumping day for Blaze. We know he's capable of quite a bit more, but again, dealing with these conditions and competing at a faster speed than he's used to. So there's no doubt that in the 3-event world, you're going to be hearing his name for a long time to come. I'm sure Steve and Nikki are over there having a look, trying to figure out. They'll analyze it and come back and put it all together next weekend.
Yeah, one of the unfortunate things for you and me, Cole, is being in the Midwest, is that we don't get to see Blaze and his parents very often, except at these kind of elite events. And wish we could, because Blaze is just such a delightful kid. Little story about Masters. Edward and Blaze were skiing against each other at Masters, and Edward didn't have a particularly solid outing, and Blaze came up to him afterward and said, "Edward, don't worry. We all know how far you can go."
Yeah, he's a true sportsman, that's for sure. And again, it's a testament to the parents. Steve and Nick have done a great job raising that young man and keeping it fun and while competing at a very, very high level. All right. Our next skier on the water, Garrett Stallings, 35 miles an hour. Likes to start with a 3/4 here.
That was a very solid jump, Cole. It was a progressive cut off of a 3/4. He had good angle into the jump. He was driving all the way through. So it's a great opening jump for him, and we'll see what his strategy is with the next couple of jumps. But he certainly got his legs under him there.
Yeah, a little little bit narrower than I think he'd probably like to be, but 151 feet for his opener. So, hey, you know, we might have counted out Mr. Edward Roberts a little bit earlier than we should have, because Garrett's still got some work to do here. He's going to have to find 13 feet to find himself in the finals for tomorrow.
He's from Texas, isn't he, Cole? Somewhere around in here?
He is from
It's
Texas.
a pretty small state, so should be able to figure out where he's from in Texas, right?
Yeah, I'd say. He's from Memphis.
Oh,
Mississippi.
Not from Texas. He's from either Mississippi or Tennessee. All those states kind of run together.
Ouch.
But he's been at the top of the ranking list for so many years, since he was just a boys one skier.
A wee pup.
Yeah.
Garrett Stalling, seconds attempt. See if we can get him a little bit wider. A little two-handed three-quarter. He is wider. This is better. That's a better jump. I don't know if it was 164, though. See, this is a little bit of drama here.
You know, I remember Ryan Dodd was at our place, and I know you were there for a bit of it, weren't you? No, you weren't. But
Levi, my son, was. But
we had a crew there, and Ryan was teaching Will about three-quartering with two hands. That jump was 166.
166 feet for Garrett, so he does punch his ticket into the finals for tomorrow. And Edward is on the bubble there. I know it would have been fun for him to be on the dock with his buddies Johnny and Brett and Will, but he'll have to wait another day, it looks like. But
Yeah,
that is
so-
true. You never know. It is the jump event. Anything can happen.
Yeah, we could have somebody go out and pass 3 times.
Just
You
like we
never know.
saw, yeah, you know, it happened to Blake, unfortunately, but it does happen. Hate to say that.
Okay, here he comes in for his third jump. Just a real solid skier. Came down a little farther that time. Ooh,
Little chest crush there.
Yeah, I don't think that one is as far.
It had some speed, though.
Oh, he did.
52 miles an hour, so only generating the same amount of speed that Edward generated.
Is he at 30?
He is at 35 miles an hour, so
Yeah, so a real good set for Garrett. But I was starting to tell you, Cole, that when Ryan Dodd was at our lake working with the kids, he taught Will the two-handed three-quarter. And I mean to tell you, that was really a revelation to us to see how far you can go on a three-quarter two-handed. And Will goes back to that every now and then when he wants to work on certain things, and it's been a great tool for him.
yeah, I was talking to you earlier about when Scott came to our lake and did just that. He did a three-quarter, and it was the easiest 201-foot jump I've ever seen in my entire life. And so, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions about a three-quarter, a lot of misconceptions about a double, but obviously when you find somebody that knows how to ride their skis as well as these guys do, they can three-quarter nearly just as far as they can double, and it's a controlled way to work on various things, and we just saw that there. So
our next skier on the water is Johnny Lutz, right? Brett Stackpole.
Brett
Okay,
Stackpole,
Brett
you know
comes
him
out
well.
before Johnny. Yeah, Brett is a little boy whose mom and dad were my partners in building the lake we live on right now, and Brett has an older sister, Sammy, and Jeff and Shelley, I'm sure, home watching right now, wishing Cole were talking instead of me. But in any event,
You said it.
Brett is going to be coming in at 35 mile an hour, 5.5-foot jump, and I was fortunate enough to be in Florida last October to watch him bust into the 200-foot club with a 202-foot jump. So Brett has all kinds of ability. The wind has died down quite a bit, quite frankly, and we're going to see what he can do here.
About the 620 there. What I notice and love about Brett skiing is the line control. If you look at how tight he keeps his line, up and over, there it is. He punches his ticket into the finals. A little bit back, 59 miles an hour as he hits the base of the jump. We have not yet had a skier break that 60 mark. But Jeff, you're right. Just an unbelievable talent in the jump event, and even nicer young man. His sister and him came down and spent the weekend with us last weekend, and 181 feet for Brett's opener. Not a bad way to start his campaign here, but came down and we kept it light. You know, we did some wrong foot forward slalom skiing and wrong foot forward tricking, and just had a ball. And I think that's what is so incredible about Brett Stackpole is he can have fun on the water doing just about anything, and you see his eyes light up when he gets an opportunity to jump, and especially with his best friends Johnny and Will Roberts. So this has got to be a heyday for him. Scott Ellis at the helm, and Johnny and Will to come behind him. He's going to put one down the lake, though. He wants to give him a number they have to chase down.
So he's pulling out wide now to the 6, and we'll see. Looks like he might have backed it up a little bit, not much.
Brings that right hip through. What a turn. Oh, he lets it go. The load in that rope was incredible. Just seen that thing slingshot back to the boat. Look where he is, and he's passed.
Yeah, so I think Brett was a little bit early there, if I were betting. And he's going to make a little adjustment here, and I predict he's going to bang one out there. But even though the wind has died down a little, it's still pretty stiff out there, dead straight across the lake. And so these guys are kind of spoiled. They're accustomed to skiing headwind most of the time, and so there are adjustments that need to be made. Brett is very, very smart. He's an engineering student down at Alabama. He's taking flying lessons this summer, so he spent hours and hours in the air and acquiring his pilot's license. Just an all-around fantastic kid. We're very blessed to have him and Sammy on the lake with our kids. They're good examples. They make good decisions. Great kids.
Cannot second that enough. This young man is second to none. Here he comes, his third and final attempt. He's already punched his ticket to the finals tomorrow. But we are getting down to the nitty-gritty of it here. As Brett Stackpole makes his turn for the jump. Up and over, that is it. Look at the float.
Yeah, I think that's in the low 90s, Cole.
That was a great looking jump. Yeah, just didn't get that.
Maybe farther.
Just didn't get that hip pulled through the jump to get the extra 10 feet he needed that he was looking for. But you're right, he has all the ability in the world, and to jump that far in this conditions, I'm excited to see what he has in store for us tomorrow. He puts his hand up and doesn't love it, but we love it. And we love him. So 185 feet for Brett. Excellent jump.
Well, he has the Stackpole fan club over across the lake. The Grathwall girls are all there, and so he was happy as he rounded the turn back there and came past them. So we've got 2 more jumpers coming up. Brett had a good set, and he'll go farther tomorrow. That's a promise.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But it's no gimme, Jeff. It's no gimme for the 2 boys coming off the dock behind him. They're dear friends, obviously grown up together, chasing each other around the lake and definitely down the lake. And I'm just fortunate to have a front row seat to it, Jeff, and it's been amazing, and I appreciate all that your family has done, and also the Stackpole family, to allow us to be a small part of their success, and we just can't say enough about the job you guys have done at raising fine young men and women.
And I think the other thing I'd be remiss not to say is that we've got Brendan and Katie Schultz coming up down the lake. Brendan won nationals in the jump event in I think 2018, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2019. He's an elite level jumper himself. Katie, I think jumped. I think she was 4th in nationals last year in the jump event, and they're all around skiers too. So just a great family. We're very blessed on the lake where we are to have such great neighbors.
You can say that again. Debbie was texting me earlier this morning when we lost live feed, so I know that they are watching, and we appreciate them very, very much. They definitely breed them differently there in Dow, Illinois, don't they, Jeffrey?
I like to think so.
All right, Jonathan Lutz on the water. Dar's on the other side of the lake helping out with safety. There is no other exciting jumper in the world right now. Look at this. He is late, taking it to the base. Look at that. There it is. That's the way to open up. That was a big jump.
That was just powerful. The sound off the jump was amazing. The angle he carried into the jump. He went 58 miles an hour that time.
All right, generating 58 mile an hour. I would have thought more than that. He was humming into that base. And that's got to be close to 200 feet. Well, I was mistaken. 185-foot jump for Johnny there on his opener.
Yeah, I'm shocked at that. I'm not surprised, but I am shocked at that. That jump looked much farther than that to me, but sometimes you just get surprised. But
Well,
that was a great jump.
He didn't have the speed. It's obvious at 58 mile an hour to go far, but he got the lift, that's for sure. And so we'll see if he makes the necessary adjustments. He's definitely capable. He's been 203 feet before.
Yeah, he's a great jumper. He kicks the jump probably as hard as anybody does, and he's gone over 200 feet. He is a very, very good jumper. I'm expecting better this time. I brought it down the lake about 10 feet.
Oh, Lord, really? Well, he definitely carries speed in his turn. Look at that turn. This is some power. Oh, he lets it go. He's getting the soap out there.
Johnny's a fun kid to be around. He doesn't talk a whole lot, but he's very funny when he does. He's Will's roommate down at Alabama, and we've got to spend a lot of time with Johnny. His parents, they have a place on Isles of Hancock, and you won't meet a more generous, welcoming family. He has a brother, Ben, who's jumped 209 feet before, who also is at Alabama. Both of them are engineering students. And, we've just been very, very fortunate to get to spend time with the Lutz family. And they've got a beautiful ski lake up in Jacksonville, Illinois, where I went to college. And and that next weekend, that's where we're going to be at their lake.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the numbers come out of that lake. Always produces massive scores, perfect conditions, and I think what you find is once there's blood in the water and that first person puts the big jump out there, it just gets the blood flowing, everybody's excited, and then they just start coming one after the next, PB after PB after PB, and when you've got the likes of Brett and Will and Ben, Brandon Shipper, the full Midwest Air Force down there, it is sure to be a great time and just an absolute clinic to watch.
Okay, here comes Johnny for his third jump.
All right, I'm going to see where he's turning here. About the 620, so. But still, look at the speed he carries in his turn here. Looks like he's backed it up just a little bit. And he lets it go. So we're stacked up at 185 feet, but You know what? In these conditions, I think what you're going to see is a lot of safe jumping today and just making sure that they can strap the skis on tomorrow and go out there and compete for a championship. They are all looking to be crowned the 2021 Junior U.S. Open Junior Men's Jump Champion. And we've got anyone that can take it out of that field. Looks like we're going to have Garrett Stallings, Brett Stackpole, Johnny for sure, and we are waiting to find our last skier, but my guess is it's going to be Mr. William Roberts, who will be your one and only 6-foot jumper here today. He's enjoying a little bit more flight time off the 6-foot ramp. Transitioned to it very easily, as one would expect when you're ranked amongst the top in the world.
Yeah, so Cole, they're raising the jump up right now from 5.5 to 6 foot. It's a softer 6-foot jump, so it's just as well. Will is new to the 6-foot jumping, so he doesn't need a steep one. And what they did with the boats was interesting today. This boat that's pulling them is a 6.2 liter, but last night wasn't getting strong times. So they've put a three blade prop on the boat that Scott Ellis is driving right now, I believe. And I'll be anxious to see what kind of times they're getting. But these guys know what they're doing out there. They're very technical. They talk about jumping all the time. I mean, it's just constant talking about jumping. So anyway, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting to see, and we're thankful that Scott and the boat crew, the judges out there, are taking the sun in. We've got the bimini off to make sure we're getting maximum MT times and getting the good times that these jumpers need to put out the big distances. But wind is relatively calm. It's probably the calmest it's been all day. I hate to say that. I hope I haven't jinxed it, but we'll just wait and see here as we get that ramp cranked up to 6 foot for Mr. Will Roberts. You know, one thing we didn't mention about Johnny is he's a very accomplished swimmer, a state champion in the Illinois ranks, and that is not a small state. If you haven't noticed, they tend to pump out excellent talent in the swimming divisions, and we're just been fun to watch Will and Johnny and Brett take to swimming club team at Alabama and setting records left, right, and center. So not only are they world-class talent in the jump event, they're also making waves in the pool, and it's just really fun to watch and see how much time and effort they put into that. There's not really any better way to stay in shape over the winter than swimming the way they did. So I think they had an unbelievable 200 free relay. They had an IM relay. So pretty incredible the times that I was hearing. I mean, I used to be a swimmer myself back in the day, and they could probably have made some Division II or maybe even D1 schools with the times that they're pumping out. So just very talented all around. And then in the academic world, I mean, it's just amazing. They put equal amounts of time into their schoolwork. So fun to watch, and we are going to get to see our one and only 6-foot jumper here, Will Roberts. One thing I'd mention, we are going to be transitioning right into dinner after this last skier of the day. It is 6:30, so they run a tight ship around here. Want to thank all the judges and officials, San Marcos River Ranch, for putting on yet another world-class event. All these judges and officials come here on their own dime and donate their time, so we just sure appreciate everything they do to make sure that these the bright future of our sport has an opportunity to shine out on the water, and it's just great to see all the families and faces that we've seen for so many years coming together. And like I've said so many times today, Gordon Hall is smiling down. This is just probably one of those moments where you just got to take it all in as a father, Jeff. So we're going to let you do that. So Will Roberts taking a nice conservative approach. And that is how it done. Way to go. Basically turned that double into a 3/4. Ran out of speed there, but again, that's exactly what you want to do as a young pro that's trying to make a name for himself at the 6-foot scene, and he's doing just that. 212 feet at King of Darkness. Don't be confused. There are a lot of eyes on this young man, and they're the likes of Ryan Dodds and Freddie Krugers, because they know he's coming for them, and it won't be long before he's looking. He's looking for his coach here on the water. Well, 187-foot opener for William, but like I said, ran out of speed in his turn, got sucked in a little bit, and that was basically a glorified 3/4. But just feeling out the wind, I'm going to assume that you're going to see him take a little bit later look at the ramp and see where he can cut in this wind. Hopefully we won't have this wind tomorrow, but nonetheless, you have to prepare for what you got, and I'm sure that's what you're going to see here. He's your boys too, national record holder, 144 feet. Transitioning into the pro ranks, Mr. Will Roberts making his turn to the jump. This looks like a good spot. And he's going to let that one go, kind of like I figured he would. 61 miles an hour on the pass, which means that he's got another 3 or 4 miles an hour from what we found in the other people that have passed just before him. That's kind of what we would expect. 60, low 60s, mid 60s for these pro jumpers. Don't know if anybody's been able to see the sports science on Sports Center that they did on Freddie and Ryan Dodd, but it was pretty incredible. I'd be surprised if he took this jump, but he is he's a sportsman. He wants to put on a show, and when you are new to the 200-foot club like he is, you know, every opportunity in a record tournament to put one down the lake, it's hard to pass up. So we'll see what he does here, but he is, like I said, he's one of the smartest jumpers I know, pound for pound, arguably one of the best jumpers in the world, right here at beautiful San Marcos River Ranch. He is your top seed. He has secured his top seed position for the finals tomorrow. Your last jumper of the day, William Roberts out of Dow, Illinois. Very wide at the 6, cutting about the 620 there. Pulling out wide on that ski nautique. He's got Rocket Man Scott Ellis behind the wheel. This is a better spot. Let's see if he takes it to the jump. He does. Looks like William's all right. He's giving us the wave, but we're going to get into the water, make sure and check him out. Well, I can hear him talking. I want to thank the safety swimmers for getting to him very quick. Scott staying calm in the boat. Looks like we're done for the day, and William is okay. So All right. Well, thank goodness Will is okay. And again, we want to thank all of the judges and officials, our safety swimmers, San Marcos River Ranch, our chief judge, Nikki Lee, chief driver, chief safety, all the help we've had, Kelvin on the webcast, making sure that this is broadcast to the world. So big thanks again to everybody that put a helping hand in, and can't do it without you. It takes a village, obviously. Congratulations to all the competitors and all the finalists, and we will look forward to another great day of water skiing tomorrow. Thanks again. Signing off.